What's up, Fiends? Alucard here. As you can see, I am surrounded by a lovely panel of guests. Uh, Let me introduce all of you wonderful people to my. Hey, I did it right. To this way is Joey V and Dr. V from the B Zone.
Hi,
Hi,
everyone.
everyone.
Below me is Radical Ryan Hunter from the Radical Retro Rewind. A lot of R's.
And you did fantastic. Always good with that. You just comes right out for you.
I try. I try. Sometimes R's are hard. Uh, and then in the other corner, we have Mr. Geof from the GCap Recap.
What's up, everybody? Let's get capping.
So, first thing I want to do is that I know that I believe all of us on the panel tonight are wrestling fans.
Yes.
So I do want to say, rest in peace to Scott Hall. That was a horrible thing that happened yesterday. But yeah, so much love and respect, Scott Hall.
Yes.
Damn right.
Definitely.
So let's see, got a couple people in here. We'll wait a couple minutes to get a few people up in here. So so what have all you guys been up to lately? Anybody? Go.
Getting ready for the summer.
Is it baseball season? Getting ready
Yeah,
for
baseball, obviously.
No, you're not a baseball fan. I can't tell at all.
See, I filled out my March Madness bracket today for work.
Hey,
So, big sports day, I guess.
Vanessa's here, of course.
Oh, hi, Vanessa.
Hey, Vanessa.
And T. Betty.
Oh,
Vanessa.
and that beautiful cat, T. Betty.
She does have a gorgeous cat. Yes.
Oh my goodness.
She does, yeah.
I'm already sold. The beautiful cat picture.
So we're calling this the Shimmy Chronicles.
Nice.
Great.
Why or how I came up with that, I don't know. But it came to me, and I was like, I'm going with it.
It makes it sound like the epic that it is.
Yeah, that's that. Yeah, the cat's name is Jenna.
Oh.
Beautiful.
So we are going to be talking about the lovely and incredible Champagne and Bullets, aka Road to Revenge, aka GetEven.
Even she's laughing over that.
I mean, how could you not? So, for anyone who hasn't seen this movie, how would you describe it in like a sentence? Can anybody describe it in a sentence? Because I know
Well,
that's difficult.
it's like a cop buddy duo, but Hamlet's there too, and also some devil worshippers.
Okay, yeah, that's pretty accurate, actually.
Wings Hauser having a midlife crisis?
Oh my goodness. The performance of a lifetime, right?
That wasn't a performance, Ryan. I think
That was life. That was
You know
that
the
was
camera?
that was reality.
Yeah.
That would have been a good name for the movie. Wings Hauser's life post Roseanne.
Wings meltdown.
There you go. Wings Hauser's life post Roseanne. It's just an explanation of it. You don't need to go any further. That's the way I look at it.
If Nightmares in the House, how's it going? So yeah, Champagne and Bullets is a 1993 B movie action something.
Drama, dare I say, question mark?
Romance.
Yeah, oh, romance like you've never seen before.
Or ever want to see
And
it.
So
cult
okay,
religious, right? We're cult religious too.
that was amazing.
So
That
it's kind
was
of like a horror film.
Yep.
Yeah.
absolutely. So let's start off with Jeff. How did you see this movie the first time, or what? Tell us your journey to Champagne and Bullets.
Okay, I mean, I know they've got a way better story, but mine briefly is when I first started YouTube, people would see that I was always talking about bad movies, how much I love bad movies. So people would constantly like message me, "Have you seen this movie? Oh, you should get this movie. You should buy this movie." And so anyway, this is how I met Ryan and I's our friend David that we do live streams with, and I didn't know him that well back then. Like we were just talking, and he's like, "If you love Vinegar Syndrome so much, you should really buy this movie, Champagne and Bullets." And I was like, "Oh man, I just spent." I mean, I take everyone's recommendations, but I wasn't sure. Well, come find out, it's sold out on Black Friday when I went to buy it. My friend did get it, brought it over. We watched it. I instantly went to eBay and spent like $70 or like 3 times as much to own it because I needed to have it. It's that amazing. Yes, that's
awesome.
my story.
And Ryan, how did you hear about Champagne?
My journey is even shorter. Dare I say, only a mere month ago, on one of our streams, this movie came up, and Geof, Al, and David, as mentioned, were talking about it, and then just doing my own research and just watching little clips and seeing pictures, and then Al, being wonderful, sent me a copy to watch for this stream, and oh my god, what a life-changing moment.
So you just saw it for the first time then?
Just saw it. I waited till today because I wanted it to be as fresh as possible.
I've said before, it's one of those films that I wish I could see again for the first time. Such an experience.
Yes.
My god.
Yeah.
So we have veterans and a rookie for Champagne and Bullets.
Yeah, our history with it goes back about 5 years. So Joe hosts a show called Action Snax, and we've shared it with a couple different Roku channels. Like it's like small time B movie stuff, and Joe does this hosting show that's specific to action movies. And at the time, the channel we were working with, the owner would just send us over packs of films. Like he would download them from wherever and just send them over to us and say, "Hey, screen these, see if you want to use any of them." And so we pulled this one up. Our routine was typically to sit there and take notes, write the script while we're watching the film and that kind of thing. We got about 15 minutes into this one, and I couldn't stop laughing. I finally was like, close the laptop, put it aside. We need to focus here. And after a few more minutes, I said to him, was your boss serious with this one? Was he, like, it felt like a prank, sort of? Because even in the world of B movies, this movie somehow feels like a prank. And so he messaged his boss and said, "Have you seen this?" Like, and he said, "No. If it's no good, we just won't use it." And we were both like, "No. We are invested. We are going to see this through, and we are going to air this thing." So we did, and it immediately the like rumor mill started moving immediately. It immediately became one of our most popular episodes. We'd only done maybe a dozen other episodes up to that point, and this one suddenly became like the signature episode. I mean, we've rebooted it twice now with just like new segments and stuff because it's that popular that people are so interested in it.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
It's one of those movies I never get tired of watching. When we have guests over, we make them watch it because it just never gets old. Never gets old.
No, it's the gift that keeps on giving, really.
Yes.
It really is. I spout this movie anytime I can. I'd be like, "Have you seen this movie? You need to see this movie."
Yeah.
It's like
I realize something new every time. Like I'm sure we'll get there, but like there's characters that the first 10 times I saw it, I had no idea who that character was or what they were doing there, and suddenly on the 12th time realized, oh, okay, that's who that is. Like it's after a while it starts making sense.
It all makes sense now. I was just gonna say the puzzle pieces each time. I can't wait.
Yeah. So as I try to grab things, so Vinegar Syndrome did release this on Blu-ray.
Oh, it looks so beautiful.
A few months back. I can't remember exactly. But yeah, so this is my copy forever. So I guess let's just kind of start going through the movie. And so Let me know in the chat. Have any of you guys seen this movie? Please let us know if you've seen it already, or is this going to be your introduction to this masterpiece?
I think Vanessa's seen it quite a few times. I might have heard from the bird.
He has. He has indeed. I believe Betty has as well. I believe. Now, I've seen it, I don't know, probably 5 or 6 times overall. The first 3 times was on their show.
So cool.
And you tuned in every time, didn't you?
Pretty much. So I guess I'll tell my story. So I was sitting there watching Action Smash, and this movie comes on, and kind of like they said, it's like, wait, what is this? What is going on? And so and then of course right after, like, it just kind of blew up. It kind of got everywhere after that. I saw it all over YouTube. Other people were reviewing it. I mean, it was kind of everywhere. And yeah, and then also for Action Smack and stuff, they also do a live chat on Facebook. So the live chat blew up too, and so me and all these other people that were watching we're just in amazement of this movie.
I believe it. I was amazed.
A good live chat for one of our films garners maybe about 250 comments or so. That one I think was like 1,000 because when that aired, there was people were so enthralled and engrossed in what was going on and just how bizarre it was.
So, June's throwing some Dr. V love out there.
Thank you, June.
So do you think it was your show that really gave it this resurgence of this?
I would have to. I believe so. Actually,
that's really cool. That's amazing. So cool.
It could be. It's either our show played a role in it, or it was just complete timing coincidence. We definitely didn't discover it because when we first watched it, and I was Googling it to try to find out more about it. Other people were aware of its existence. I saw there was a bar somewhere that did a GetEven night or something.
Cowboy night?
Bar, yeah. So people were aware of its existence, but it definitely it was shortly after we aired it that it was pulled from YouTube, suggesting that maybe John D. Hart realized, oh, I could be making money off of this. So it does kind of it begs some questions. It's either completely coincidental timing or our airing of it played a role.
I think so.
I'm gonna say yes. It's our fault.
You should own it. Oh, I would definitely own that.
I don't know if I want to own that.
Yeah.
I don't want to own it.
You brought so much joy to so many people now, getting it out there.
I mean, I like to better.
We're spreading something.
Ice cubes, another key thing that stands out right off the bat.
Oh, geez.
Oh, God.
So Ryan, you watched the GetEven cut of the movie, correct?
Which I think
Geof,
is what we're familiar with as well.
Right. That's the one that you guys always air as well. And Geof, you've seen the GetEven cut and the Champagne and Bullets cut, correct?
Correct. Yep.
I have also seen Champagne and Bullets and the GetEven.
I think we've only seen the GetEven.
We've only seen the GetEven, yeah.
Well, the good news is the GetEven cut is the best version.
Yeah.
So, all right. So there are 3 cuts to this movie currently. There's the Champagne and Bullets, which is the original version that John D. Hart put out in 1993.
Okay.
It features very extended love scenes. I mean, very extended. I'm talking
more than these, the one.
More than the ones you saw, Ryan. Yes.
Okay.
On and on. Right, yeah. Don't they?
Yeah.
It's just on.
I was starting to think this is why he made this movie.
It's like a fan fiction brought to life. Then
We could spend all day on set with a Playboy bunny. Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And, okay. So that
if you go into his IMDb and you look back, he only has one acting credit that was cut from 20 years before.
Oh.
And with this guy being a lawyer and the things that he's accomplished in life, this was the one thing that he just didn't accomplish. And this was the one way that he was going to show the world that I have done it. I have conquered it all.
I spent an evening in front of the fire with a Playboy bunny.
He got cut from one bad film 20 years ago, and he just couldn't let it go. He couldn't let it go.
That's probably
I
what it
bet-
comes down to, yeah.
I bet he's laughing now because if they would have had that in their movie, that movie might have also had a resurgence.
Good point. Donnie Hart is a cult figure now.
He is, and I think largely because of you guys. But,
Well, you see, here's
Well,
the-
actually, once again, no, I don't want to take the blame.
I don't want to.
Disclaimer, please, on the bottom.
And also, I don't want to be that guy who thinks it was all because of me either. But here's what I did notice. All right, after our show aired, I started to see, like, I would go and look up stuff on YouTube, and you could find stuff on YouTube, even the full film on YouTube, and I would see lines of dialogue in the comment sections saying stuff like, Action Smack sent me here, or something with
Oh,
Joey
really
Vinny in the
cool.
dialogue, or something like that, and it would always make me laugh, but it started showing up a little more regularly. Then all of a sudden, everything went off of
pulled from
YouTube.
yeah.
So I'm like, all right, well, I don't know, but there's,
Yeah.
there's it begs a question at least.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I'll give him the blame. I won't take any of the
Yeah.
blame.
there you go. So then, okay, so after Champagne and Bullets got released, it didn't, from what I've gathered, didn't get a whole lot of traction. Wonder why.
Wow.
So then he decided to do a cut for the foreign markets because the foreign markets don't want 20-minute sex scenes. So
Yet the domestic market does.
Yeah.
Once
Nice.
Donnie
Well,
Hart having sex.
this is what he heard. This is what John heard. So he re-edited it and took all the sex scenes out, all the nudity, all of it, and even some of the action sequences, which they're not that many, that became Road to Revenge.
Yeah.
The cover, my God.
This is probably my favorite cover. I think
His eyes.
he looks so.
And the fact that they put that poor woman right there next to his head that just draws attention to the eyes just makes it even better.
His eyes are like the weirdest part of the film. His eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He has a
We'll get there.
1,000 yard stare.
We'll talk more about the eyes.
So John DeHart calls Road to Revenge the neutered version or the Disney version of.
Oh.
I don't know what Disney movies he watches, but good lord.
Yeah, right. I know. So then he was unhappy with the Road to Revenge cut, so he re-edited again and filmed a few extra footage, which we're going to get into in a few minutes.
Special edition style, like George Lucas?
Yeah. pretty much.
Who shot first?
He put the added footage in,
Huck.
and of course put the sex scenes back in, but trimmed them just a little, not quite as long as the Champagne and Bullets version. Yeah, and so that version is called GetEven, and that's the version. That's the first version I saw. And everyone here has seen this version.
It
Now,
looks
this
so
is-
modern, that trip. Like, it looks like a modern 2000s blockbuster-esque
It does, doesn't
cover.
Will courage overcome corruption?
I don't remember there being an assault rifle in the movie that he had.
No, not at all.
No, I think
Was
that
he
was.
using a bow and arrow at one point?
Yeah, he shot from the middle of the woods that somehow made it all the way through and then onto somebody
In the
on
dark.
roof. Oh yeah, it's like an Olympic archer. Yeah.
You know why
Rambo.
he probably did that because of Rambo,
Yeah.
because that was the selling.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure. So we're mainly going to talk about the GetEven cut for two reasons. One, it's kind of the most complete version, and two, it is John DeHart's favorite version of the three.
Okay.
The DC, right? The director's
Logically.
cut. Yep.
Yep. So, all right. So I guess let's tell the tale of GetEven, aka Roach Revenge, aka Champagne and Bullets.
AKA.
Right. So so the GetEven cut
Garbage.
starts with one of the new scenes that they shot, which was the driving around Hollywood scene. That's the opening credit. That was that's not in Champagne and Bullets. Nope.
Interesting.
Right.
Yeah, the Champagne and Bullets is just like a super generic credit scene. Like nothing. It's black. The names on it. The whole week. So
It might have been better.
driving around Hollywood, and so then it immediately goes to 3 LAPD officers surrounding a trailer in the middle of nothing. And this trailer is on cinder blocks, I believe. So it's not moving. It's not going anywhere. So this is apparently a drug raid. And a shootout happens. And Puck, played by the wonderful Wings Hauser, gets shot.
And actually, I want to interrupt you for a second there, Al. Rewind to that opening credit sequence, the drive through LA, because there's this upbeat song that sounds exactly like "I Want Candy" going.
Yeah.
It does.
And it looks like, and on first
Perfect.
impression, it looks like this movie is going to be like, I don't know, Van Nuys Boulevard or something, like cruising LA.
Yeah,
Nothing on
It's like,
Radio
like
Drive.
that opening sequence gives you no impression that the next scene is going to be like a cop shootout.
yeah. None was the editing choices are brilliant in this movie.
Yeah.
The tone changes like that. You're so right.
I mean, like boom, yeah, no fade, no boom, like you're in the middle of this trailer.
Definitely keeps you awake.
And I love
Definitely.
a huge drug bust, and they're surrounding these bad criminals, and there's only 3 of them.
Only three.
Yeah. Massive drug bust, 3 inept, not even in any sort of like vest or anything, any sort of cop uniform. It's just 3 dudes.
Yeah.
I remember that's one of the things on first
No
viewing.
calling for backup.
On first viewing, it didn't even make sense to me what was going on. Like I don't think I even understood that they were 3 police officers doing a drug bust. Like
No.
there's so much that it just takes a while to understand because none of it's like it sounds so simple. Us describing this, I'm sure the audience is like, well, how would you not get that? No, believe me, it is not obvious.
Yeah.
It's not, and you don't even see that they're cops until they stand up, and you see it on the back of their windbreaker.
Yeah, you're right. You're
Yeah.
right. Yeah, I forgot about that. You're
Yeah,
right.
There's no strategy.
In the first scene, they're hunched down, like in the weeds, like, and you can obviously see
They're the
trailer-
narcs with windbreakers.
Yeah, like right in front of them.
Yeah,
They're
I
not-
thought they were hunting or something at first
Yeah.
until he screamed LAPD with that huge cut and talk about cuts and loud screams. That LAPD, boom, right shocked me right into okay.
Yeah.
Drug bust.
You know, they're all 3 are like right next to each other. They're not set up in any position, and the hats. It's like they have like a black hat with a logo. I don't know if it's like a Ranger cap that they just like put marker over it, so it just looks like what is that?
The logo they suddenly realized they couldn't have on camera. Yeah, and they couldn't be bothered to go get another hat.
No, it's
Like
black.
let's just gaffer tape it, you know?
All this beauty, and this is in like the first 30 seconds.
Yeah,
All this
I know.
wonderful stuff
We're
is
not out of the
happening.
first minute or so of the movie.
We're not even into this thing yet.
I thought it was, I don't know if anyone else noticed, I thought it was very Dawn of the Dead 78 raid scene in the beginning with its mixed with the Tiger King. That's as soon as I saw our lead, I wrote the Tiger King before there was one, and Dawn of the Dead raid scene in the tenement.
Oh my gosh, I like that Tiger King comparison.
That's great.
Because he dresses like him, like the tight jeans, ball cap.
Exactly, and then with the music
Yeah.
too, it's like, oh, and he included his own music. He was the
Yeah.
Tiger King, the straight Tiger King, I guess.
Now John D. Hart should have played Tiger King in the Hulu
Oh my god, could a petition, please make another.
I co-sign that. Yeah.
All right, so at this shootout in the very beginning, like I said, there's three cops. There's Huck, Rick, and Normad. Yes,
Huck
Normad.
Finney, get it right. Huck,
Yes.
Huck Finney.
Huck Finney.
Real subtle reference, you know.
Yep. Rick and Normad. Normad, not Norman, not Normal, Normad, Normad, Normad.
It sounds so familiar to me. So familiar.
So yeah, so Huck gets shot, and Normad, who's kind of the old grumpy lieutenant, he's like, "This bus is all mine," blah blah blah.
And it's Big Bill Smith, who's like
It is. It's
a
wonderful.
legitimate actor,
Right.
star of old westerns.
He's
What
way
is he doing
above-
in this freaking film?
way above all of this mess.
He's
Yeah.
the perfect like grizzled old cop, really.
True. Truly.
Definitely. And yeah, that Tiger King reference, that's brilliant, right? So Nomad takes credit for the bus, even though he didn't do jack shit.
So good.
So Rick knees him in the groin, but really it looked like he kneed him in the stomach.
Yeah, totally need him in the stomach.
And William Smith falls down.
Well, and the entire shootout and everything, it's one of those action scenes where the editing is so bizarre that you eventually just sort of sit back and accept that things are happening. Like you
It has
can't
its own
sit back and-
rules.
Yeah, like who's where, who's doing what's happening, who just got shot.
Vanessa just realized they're calling him Huck. And
Oh, see, you're always learning with this film. Always learning.
every time it's something new. So Normad on the ground, he's like, "You'll pay," blah blah blah. Then it cuts.
Another abrupt cut.
A very abrupt cut. Although
Amazing.
this is to it. But it cuts to the training montage
Yeah.
of our hero Rick, played by the wonderful John D. Hart. Now he is in like a kung fu gi, a black kung fu gi, and there is a punching bag, hanging, and so he's throwing, back fists and kicks in like the lamest way possible.
Like
no-
little kid martial arts.
Yeah.
Like,
No strength.
little kid's first
no
date
nothing.
martial arts studio.
Yeah. It's literally like a 6-year-old kid, doing kung fu.
You know what? There's a good way of explaining it. You're wearing a Chris Jericho shirt right now, and back when he was in WCW, he had a guy who used to run around with him, Ralphus. He fights like Ralphus. He fights like Ralphus.
Oh my God. Yes, that is brilliant. Yes, he does. And this goes on for about a minute. Like it's not like a little boom. No, he's like boom, boom, and it's like, okay, guys, I
And
get
the
it.
camera angles, like the camera goes full sideways at one point.
Camera goes sideways.
Yes. What a great angle. I felt that. I felt that
I
one.
think in this whole movie is suspicious, but in this scene in particular, it's jarring.
It is because he does it a couple times.
Yeah.
It was like to show off that he does kung fu, and he keeps doing this reverse spinning backhand over and over again, like
Over
and
Eddie
over.
Kingston. It's really bizarre, but yeah, over and over again, over and over again.
And the quality of the camera work at this point drops, and it was pretty bad to begin with. But what I mean was, and Al, I may be getting ahead of you, but this little like 1 minute segment feels like he just filmed it on like a home camcorder, and just inserted it into his movie later.
Yeah.
Including the dog that they just wanted to show off because clearly it was probably his
Probably his
Yeah, it
actual
was
dog.
his dog.
Is like a
It-
little
His
kimono.
dog.
that it makes so much sense, and that also looks like home footage because it really zooms in and pans
Yes.
for the treat for a second.
Yeah.
Very abrupt and takes you out of the movie.
You're
It's
right.
so amazing.
You're right. That more than anything really just looked like his home camera footage that he inserted gratuitously. Like, oh, look at my cute dog. People
Yeah.
love this.
Look what she does. She stands up.
With a little black belt, it's so magical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So magic, such a magical moment.
That would be amazing if you just saw your friend post that on Facebook. But in the middle of a movie where the dog has nothing to do with anything, I'm not sure it helped.
Right? Oh man. So
It didn't exactly keep us on track here, John.
No, not at all. So the poodle, it's a poodle. The poodle's name, by the way, is Pinky, the black belt poodle. Now,
Endearing.
if you look closely, poor Pinky is wearing a like a black belt, and he feeds her. I don't know what the hell he feeds her, but he feeds her something. And feeds her
A little piece of red looking a tree, but it was very fluorescent red looking.
yeah, I don't know. What
I'm going to look at that next time I watch this movie because I will watch it again and again and again.
A note for the next time.
Yep.
What did he feed that
know,
poor dog?
Got to watch that scene again.
So the training montage and the poodle are also not in Champagne.
Right.
Ah.
That's part of the new footage that he shot.
Al
Also
told me
part- so
about
part.
this.
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say Al told me on another live stream. He told me about this scene because I'd only seen Champagne and Bullets, and he's like, "No, he's like, you have to watch Get Even," and I'll just say karate montage at the beginning. And I watched it, and oh my, that's the best thing Al's ever told me was to go watch.
I mean, it explains why it feels so disjointed from everything else and why even like the camera filming style looks different. And so far, I'm sold on the idea that the Get Even cut is the best one.
oh yeah,
Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely. All right, so let's see. So after the wonderful training montage, it cuts to 1 year later. The infamous 1 year later.
Which I wrote, what happened?
So now Rick and Huck, John DeHart and Wings Hauser, are being set up for drug-related charges by Normad. So it's the same three cops. Normad's blaming them. And Huck is suspected of taking money and getting drugs.
He doesn't make it easy on their case, honestly. He's
Because he seems so frazzled.
Look at the man. Can you tell
it's
he's
like,
not
okay,
wrong?
I believe him right as soon as
So Huck gets up and he starts a fight with one of the cops that's in the
oh my god, what a man.
And-
this guy.
and then Huck gets taken out of the room. And then,
Wings Hauser's life, yes.
yeah.
Removed from the room.
So now all of a sudden, so they don't arrest him or anything. We just cut to them in the daytime, and it's Rick and Huck just hanging out, like by a big yellow. I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was a tractor or I don't know what it was. Van. I don't remember. But they're just having a beer. They're chilling. I thought I had a picture, but I don't think I did. Let me see.
Yeah,
And
I don't remember
Al-
the big yellow thing. That's something else I'm going to have to check out.
Oh.
I don't. Okay. So
If I
anyway,
may, Al, just before and with the judge scene, first off,
Yeah.
I thought the judge was going for an Academy Award out of anybody. In this scene, he really thought he was in a movie, I think. And the Normad, he's wearing sunglasses, and the whole scene is surreal. I mean, I guess that's the magic. It's a surreal.
Well, the thing, and Ryan, I'm glad you brought this up. Like he did this monologue, and it didn't have to be that long. Like they just described everything that just happened in detail, and it goes on forever. It was like
So
Brando in
good.
Apocalypse Now. Like it's like that long of just a one shot like montage of him, and it was like a totally that scene needed to be much shorter. Much like some of these other ones, but I'll continue. But I mean, please continue. I'll bring that up later.
yeah. So, but yeah, Ryan, you're right. The judge was very, he was trying for something. I don't know.
He's like, this is a made-for-TV movie, isn't it? This is going on Lifetime.
It's a made-for-TV movie with a whole lot of nudity.
That was the Cinemax version, the special edition. He didn't know.
There you go. So they have a conversation, and then it cuts to
Summer.
Rick at nighttime, and we find out he is a limo driver now. So he's no longer a cop. He's now a limo driver. So apparently he got fired from the force from all this ridiculousness from early.
#1 employee too.
Yeah, he is. Out of the 2 employees, he's the #1. So anyway,
I wonder how bad the other guy was.
the other guy was Hawk.
Oh, see, that's the nuance I didn't even realize they were working together. Like,
Yeah, I know, right?
Again, this is one of those aspects of the film that took me a good 5 watches to understand why he was driving those people around, and I eventually realized that they were probably teenagers going to the prom, except they look like they're 30. They're it's like these 30-year-olds being rowdy in the back of the limo.
They're like, woo!
It's more like a 20-year reunion. You're right, versus a prom.
Yeah. So it's that's one of the it's such a dumb little scene, but it's one of those things that nagged at me. What the hell was going on in that scene? And it took me a while just to realize, oh, he got work as a limo driver. Okay. And I just now I'm learning that Huck was working with him.
I never would have put that 2 together.
Yeah, it's a complete throwaway line that's extremely easy to make. But I did the deep dive. I listened to every single word. All right. So anyway, so Rick, so he's escorting these teams, and he kind of gets fed up with them, so he leaves them off to the side of the road, and actually has one of my favorite quotes from this movie. When he takes off, he says, "Adiosi, Bela Lugosi."
I am charmed.
I didn't know that was what he was saying there.
Yep, adiosi, Bela Lugosi.
There's so many moments in this movie where his enunciation is god awful, and you can't really tell what he's saying. I did not know that was what he was saying.
Well, because he mumbles half his dialogue.
Yeah.
And then Wings, which we'll get to later.
Oh,
Wings, I believe, was under some sort of substance or something. So all of his dialogue is slurred, and it's a big jumble. It's fantastic.
Well, I don't think he bothered to learn any lines. I think he
that
just
felt
got
real, right? Authentic.
Well,
that was from his heart.
Maybe so. Maybe so.
He was talking about what was happening at home. They were just rolling the camera.
Oh no, he was talking about his wife at home cheating. Oh, this is terrible. Scandalous. The documentary coming soon.
So then we cut to the beginning of Cowboy Night, which is at the apartment that Huck and Rick share. Rick comes back from driving the limo.
The leather outfit. Oh my god, with the gloves. Amazing. Amazing.
And Huck is ironing his jeans.
Love that.
And what is that in the background? Can you tell me why
he's got the cigar store figure.
Yeah, why does it?
In the background,
his only friend now.
Yep. His only friend, even though I believe Rick is also his friend. But whatever.
This dude is terrible. He
kind of talks to this Native American doll or whatever it is, and so that's going to come into play later as well.
It's like an extra character.
Yeah,
he's like part of the gang.
It is less wooden than John D. Hart.
Yeah.
Oh, beautifully stated.
That's good.
Indeed. You needed to get through this somehow. Very, very true, Vanessa. All right, so Huck says, "Hey, come on, get dressed. It's Cowboy Night." And at first, Rick's like, "I'm tired. I don't really feel like going."
Oh.
And so he's like, "Oh, come on." And then she's like, "All right, I'll go." So then they arrive.
My arm.
Yeah, I twisted my arm. So they arrive at, it's called Laney's Bar. Now, we find out that Laney is the mother of Cindy.
Oh my god, this woman, too.
So Cindy is Rick's ex. And apparently he has stayed friends, blah, blah, blah.
So wait, back up to Lainey for a second, because she is one of the characters that I had no idea who she was or what she was. She shows up repeatedly throughout the movie, and I kept saying, "Who is this Karen that keeps following them around?" Did not know until you said it just now that her name was Lainey, and did not know until you said it just now that she apparently owns this bar.
I thought it was Dr. Zayas from Planet of the Apes, to be honest.
It's the same haircut.
Yeah. I didn't know it was Laney. I thought they were like, there was Cowboys and Planet of the Apes night at the bar.
I wish I had a
my
picture.
God.
Yeah, it took me a good 10 viewings to realize that she was the girl's mother.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
And that was why she's hanging around in all these different moments.
Yeah, this is not explained yet at this point in the movie.
It's really not explained at all. I think it's like bits and pieces that we've seen it enough that we're doing the calculations, the trigonometry to make it all fit together.
Right?
And is this his real mother-in-law or something? Because it looked like she was the mother from The Room, where she was just the emotion, and she kept smiling and like looking at, like, trying to act for the camera. So she had to be someone's mother or aunt or
Investor.
cousin or
Maybe, was that his real wife at the time? Maybe.
or his wife. That's true. It should
It's
exactly.
appropriate to him. The woman he's pursuing is not.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, we may want to add Rick is he has to be at least in his mid-40s, if not older at this point, right?
At least.
At least.
I mean, probably
I was
older.
gonna say
Later
50s. I was
I'd
gonna
go
say
later.
50s.
Yeah.
I'm being nice.
He's got the energy of a young man. He's spry. He runs around.
Right.
Punching bag. Lots of backhand.
Spinning backhand.
Keeps him young.
All right. So Rick and Huck arrive at Lindy's bar.
Oh, this is
And
amazing.
of course, who's there but Cindy, Rick's ex? So they have a lovely kind of catch-up conversation because they haven't talked in a while. And John D. Hart with another extremely quotable quote here. She says, "Oh, I heard you got fired from the force." And Rick, our hero, says, "Quit, got fired. What's the difference?" And
disgraced due to drug charges, same thing.
the way he delivers this line is brilliant. Because it's like, yeah, whatever. So all of a sudden, Huck, Cindy, and everybody that's there try to encourage Rick to go up and sing a song. Because the band starts playing a song. And there's obviously no singer. It's literally a band with no singer sitting there just kind of rocking out. Right? And let's see. Go ahead. All right. So he's like, "All right, you twisted my arm." Blah, blah, blah.
No one twisted his arm, by the way.
No, it's just like having to go out to this place. No one wanted this, maybe one person.
Yeah.
And he was just like, yes,
And
don't
we
make me
really-
sing.
We really haven't described this place at all. It looks like a VFW basement with like some old arcade games along the wall. It's
Yeah.
not exactly a hopping kind of venue. It
What
looks
is
like a
this
basement.
place?
Yeah.
It looks like I think our
It
basement
looks
looks
like
hipper.
Arbor.
Yeah.
It does. And y'all should recreate the shimmy slide. Yeah.
Oh my god!
So anyway, yeah,
With my
I believe
cowboy
you
boots in the
said
other room.
Dr.
I
V nailed
believe-
it, though. It looks like someone's basement that's like, you can use it. I got some arcade machines down here, and we'll make it look like
Right.
a bar, but it looks like, it doesn't look
Yeah.
like, it's not a hopping place at all.
Yeah, so it's
No.
like, and there's like, I don't know, 6 extras in there maybe, in addition to the band. So it's like, yeah, Rick, get up there, perform for us, as though it's a big deal. And that's
Please.
kind of where I'm going with this thought. Everybody's acting like it's a big deal for him to get up on stage and perform for the 4 people sitting near the stage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
So,
known
yeah.
in these towns.
yeah. There's literally about 4 other people at this bar.
Yeah.
So
When I was
And the lights are up high too. Like that's the thing that I think makes it feel like a basement is the lights are like it's bright in the room. Like it doesn't. Nothing about it feels like a bar, a club, a honky tonk.
when I was playing music, I in no way will I ever say that my band was anywhere close to someone like a band
John D.
like
Hart.
Led Zeppelin or whatever. But I can tell you right now, I have put more butts in the seats than John DeHart did in that scene. I can guarantee that with my career being as bad as it was, I can at least guarantee
I think
that.
I've been to many karaoke bars where there were more people
Yeah.
enjoying the performance than what you saw going on here. But anyway, we keep cutting out off from actually describing what happens next, which is like the best part of the movie. I felt like everybody enjoying this with us needed to like feel this scene, understand the setting.
Yeah,
Absolutely, 100%.
he painted a good picture. This is
Yeah.
a big
Oh
scene.
my
This is a big
goodness.
scene. This is big.
So now the piece de resistance, shall we say, of the entire movie. John Hart gets on stage very slowly, by the way, and he rocks out. It's this like super twangy country song called the Shimmy Slide, and this is the stage and him mid shimmy slide.
And
Now-
he does it deadpan, though. That's the thing. He does it so serious.
This is where his eyes really start to bother you because he's sitting there.
Exactly.
Yes. Yes.
Like,
Yeah, and
he's
he does
doing this like step together, step
Well, yeah,
like
it's
it's awkward side to side, and he's not like with the beat even like.
Well, I know that well, apparently he had broken his ankle.
Is that an excuse? I don't know.
I
that is the excuse that he has used. Yes, that he said or there was something with his back. I think he threw his back out or something, or his ankle. I don't remember.
Was that in response to the criticism? He said, my back was
Probably.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what about the special edition? Couldn't he add, like, extra dance moves to it, just using the top portion of his body, maybe, to make up for it?
You would think, Gore, you need to watch this movie, buddy. It is, yeah. Our description cannot do it justice.
Yeah, I think this scene was the moment where we paused it and like called his boss and said,
Yeah.
"Are you serious with this movie?" Because this was definitely like as much as it's bizarre, nonsensical, all over the place. Getting to this point, this scene is where it completely jumps the shark, and but in like a good way, like okay,
The
I
best way.
understand what I'm watching now, like.
This is when
There
you
might be
know
one more,
that's
though,
the
that there's, like, even more, like, you're like, what just happened? But this
Yeah.
is, like, the beginning of walking you through.
So if anyone does want to know, I do have the lyrics in front of me for this wonderful song. And okay, wait. So
Sing it.
Yeah.
But the first couple.
That sounds about right. That sounds about...
Like literally the first
Literally
two
it.
lines, nothing could decipher what he said. My ears could not decipher what he said. Any program that I use.
Oh my god.
And just so everybody understands, his singing is not like in key. It's not good. Like he's
No.
not a good vocalist either. Like it's like this impression we're doing is not overstated or
It's really not.
like Geof sounded like him just now.
Yeah.
Absolutely, 100%. So, from what I gathered, this is the first two lines. Well, they sweep and they slide in all across the floor, groove it to the Juden, and then stomping some more. That's the first two lines. Then that's when my highest cat chews and my heart begins to sing. Oh, pretty baby, ma'am, can you swing?
I sure can. Exotic Joe. Joe Exotic.
So I'm gonna just skip to the chorus now. So the chorus goes, "Oh, you're on fire, and I grab you by the hand. The way the steel's moving with the rhythm of the band. My eyes swell up as you take me for a ride. Come on, pretty baby, let's do the shimmy slide."
That is the one line that always stood out in my mind. Like, well, you're on fire, grinding by.
Watch out, we might get copyright.
Oh gosh, yeah.
That's the most emotion he added.
And you can tell he's really into it. Like,
Yes.
Oh, yeah, he thinks
More than his
doing
acting,
something
he's
amazing.
exactly. I think he really thinks his singing was something, and more than the acting even. Like he's like, this is my thing. This is me.
Yeah.
yeah. Don't worry, Vanessa. Later tonight, I'll sing it to you. Don't worry.
Oh,
So
let us know.
This is
Yeah, how it goes.
this is a
Get
really,
the ice.
This is a really epic song and a really epic moment in this movie. Now, you can search the Shimmy Slide on YouTube. It is available on YouTube. I'm not going to play it because I don't want a copyright strike.
Yeah.
But it is amazing, and I highly suggest everyone watch this. And I will, after this stream is over, I'm going to
Please.
put a link to the YouTube video so you can watch it. You really need to watch it.
Before they take it down.
One of
Again.
the show producers we work with did a 20-minute version, which obviously is not up on YouTube for obvious reasons, but he sort of did this as like a passion project. It was his goal was to loop it and create a 20-minute version. And it's so hilarious because he has those same like 4 people doing their like boot scoot and line dance or whatever over and over again. But then he also interwove just clips of like showgirls dancing and stuff. So it's just 20 minutes of the Shimmy Slide looped to these random videos of people dancing. And I think like Beyonce, and the Single Ladies is in there too. Like it's so funny and it's such a shame he really has nowhere to put it for copyright reasons because it's genius. It's absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, it really is. Hey, what's up, Drake? Good to see you, buddy. Drake, all the links should be in the description below.
I appreciate that, Drake. Thank you so much. And everyone that's here, thank you.
But yeah, his channel is the Radical Retro Rewind. But like I said, all the links should be up in the description.
Al's very fantastic with that. He always puts such great lists together in general with movies, but also on YouTube, he puts great links together for everybody. So kind.
I am a list guy. Yeah, I don't know why, but I'm a list guy.
That's good.
Romantic Nightmare. I saw that clip.
The eyes. They'll never leave.
Never.
How would anyone ever leave him? Cindy? What's her name? Cindy.
The woman he's trying to woo at this point.
Oh.
Yeah.
And the rest of the band, they're just sitting there playing. They're not like really into it.
They're in shock, probably.
Ding, 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 ding.
They don't even acknowledge that he's there.
They're like, oh, there's someone here? Okay.
Nothing. So I don't know if they shot it separately or what. I don't know.
It's a good thing you went up there too, because like they're playing the song for like 2 minutes while there's dialogue at the bar, and like thankfully he decides to go up there, else they would have just kept playing the same thing over and over. And over
Oh my god! Yeah, they were just looping the same riff. You're right. Right.
Yeah, over and
And
over.
one of the things that cracks me up is while he's singing this, they sort of keep cutting to Cindy sitting at the bar, and she is sitting there like eye-effing him. She is so turned on by
like a rock star. Like she saw the best. Oh, I saw the same thing. Yes, she couldn't get over how good he was. I was like, oh wow, Cindy, please get out more.
Yeah, the whole time. Yeah, it's such a brilliantly bad scene. It really is. So okay, so like I said, please go watch the Shimmy Slide on YouTube. It is fantastic. I cannot recommend it enough. All right, so let's see. Okay, so then right after he finishes his song,
this scene,
all of a sudden, so Rick comes down off the stage, and all of a sudden, a stripper jumps onto the stage and just starts taking stuff off. No rhyme, no reason. No, this is not a strip club. This is a bar.
Yeah. It's like a normal bar.
And Cindy was looking. No, was it her mother? The mother was looking at it like, "Why you gotta be so stuck up and enjoy her? What is going on?" It's like, and like the girl on the phone. My mind was blown. I didn't blame her. She's like, "There's women stripping in this arcade basement."
I'd be pretty put off if I was just sitting there enjoying a beer and all of a sudden
I agree.
woman on stage like. I didn't
start
expect
going.
that. I thought I was just grabbing beer with my coworkers. Like, what is happening?
The same thing.
Out of nowhere, like
A karaoke night to that?
So
And,
okay,
and it's,
so
it's the same song too. She's dancing to
Yeah.
the Shimmy Slide.
Yeah.
yeah, it's the instrumental version of the.
Yeah.
Of the
It's so good.
they like this whole scene, by the way, this whole like 15-minute scene.
That song took on a whole new meaning for her. She just like felt liberated. Just got up there.
Maybe that's what it
You got
was.
real excited.
Inspired. She was inspired. Yeah.
I just talked to Huck, and I feel so good all of a sudden.
Huck was. I left my drink with Huck.
Yeah,
I don't know
yes.
what might have happened to it, but I just feel like I gotta take my clothes off now.
He told me I would be okay.
So a female patron at the bar gets up
Good for her.
and calls the police for public nudity. And okay, so right after this call, this group, I think about 4 people, come in. They kind of look like hoodlums. Okay, I mean they're older. They're not like kids or nothing. These guys are at least in their 40s.
I forgot that this all happened in one scene, by the way.
All in one thing. Yeah, this is all
Yeah.
happening kind of all at
A lot
All
of
in
long
that
Keeps
basement.
on giving.
A lot of long
Yeah.
scenes.
Maybe that basement is a pretty hip bar to be at. If this is what goes on every
This
night.
is just one night. Can you imagine tomorrow? Oh,
Man.
So we learned that these hoodlums are there, and they have plans to kidnap Cindy and to f up Roy Rogers, which is what they call Rick. They call him Roy Rogers. I thought that was funny. And so Rick and Cindy are kind of hanging back onto like a pinball machine or something, and these guys approach them, and
And now, real fast, one of these guys, if I may, does look like a very skinny Guy Fieri, like the.
yeah, go with the hair. Flavor Town started here, Geof. This basement bar arcade.
I hear you're not seasoning your chicken wings, Cindy.
Sorry, Al. I just wanted to put that.
no, please, yes, any injections, please, absolutely. So Rick punches the guy, and he goes down. Huck, of course, joins in because that's his buddy, right?
He's a ride or die kind of person.
And Huck's like toasted at this point too.
Oh yeah, Huck's
That's-
gone 10 sheets to the wind already.
I have to assume there was probably like really a bunch of booze on set and Wings was just gone.
Oh yeah, well, like you said, this was somebody's basement bar, so yeah, there was real liquor flowing, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So the cops come because of the public nudity call, and there's a fight, and then Huck starts giving them shit, so they arrest Huck.
He hits continuous policemen in this office, including the courtroom.
Mm-hmm.
Everywhere. This is like the third, fourth thing he curses them out and goes, I was a policeman first. Oh, I mean, before, and I'm not going. What?
Yeah.
Nothing. Okay. Oh.
You got
Pretty
you got his hand gestures and arm gestures down, Pat Ryan. That was
No,
good.
he's a
Like,
man. He was a
go,
classic, Geof.
Yeah.
Thank you. Oh my God, that was the performance of performances.
So Huck gets arrested. The next scene is apparently 5 hours later because of the time that they say. So Rick and Laney, who's the mother and owner of the bar,
Possibly his wife.
possibly his
Dr.
real life
Zaya.
wife,
Yeah. She's
they
Bail
go
boss.
to bail out. Yeah, they go to bail out Huck, and they meet the bail bondsman, whose name is Mo. Mo says he heard Huck has been a few cards short of a deck. That's the actual quote. He called him a wild man, which I thought was funny. I don't know how well y'all know Wings Hauser, but Wings Hauser did a movie called The Wildling, and they called him a wild man. I thought it was. And then Laney says, I hope Huck's still alive. So I'm assuming that alludes. I'm assuming that alludes to him being an ex-cop, and they don't like cops in prison. So that's what I got.
Oh, there you go.
I
You
took it
explained
to-
that for me.
Yeah.
Question.
Yeah.
I took it that he had too much to drink and too much coke at the bar, but
Or he was getting fights with people.
Maybe.
But that
Maybe
makes
so.
the most
And
sense.
picking a
Cop.
fight with everybody, yeah.
Yeah, very true. All right, so, and then, okay, so after they get huffed, Rick offers another wonderful piece of wisdom to the policeman that's behind the desk.
Oh, this is...
He offers the cop a quarter and then says, buy yourself a personality.
He should talk. He should talk. This guy is... oh my god, he has the worst personality ever.
And he does it just like Al said it, with that much excitement.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I was going for. The exact excitement he did the line with.
And
And
it was it wasn't even a sick burn. It was kind of a bad burn, and for no good reason. Like the guy at the desk didn't do anything to anybody. And
No, not at all.
He just has to pick fights with everybody, right? This
Yeah.
guy, he goes anywhere. I feel like the supermarket, anywhere. He's picking fights with people. Why did you look at me like that?
Well, I felt secondhand embarrassment having to
It's
listen to that
because
line.
I think it's because John D. Hart really can't do that in real life, but now in this movie, he feels like he is empowered. This is his empowerment moment.
I think you're right. I think the character has all these like bad one-liners and all these dumb moments because it's what John D. Hart envisions is a way to look like a tough guy in a movie.
Yeah.
That's what you do when you want to make it clear that your character is a tough guy.
But his posturing is a lot like the guy who played Niedermeyer in the Twisted Sister video, like where he's just sort of like cowering behind the walls. Like that's really John D. Hart for it. That's what he is. He's a really bad. He's a knockoff of Niedermeyer. He's a knockoff Niedermeyer.
Niedermeyer mixed with Joe Tiger, whatever that's.
Yeah, Exotic Joe, Tiger,
Exotic Joe.
Or Joe Exotic.
Joe Exotic. That's what it is. Yeah. I'm already
We
starting
got
to
Joe.
forget
We
him.
got Joe. You guys right here.
Can I also bring up too that this scene was completely unnecessary to even have in this movie. There's a bail bondsman come in, they do the whole process.
Oh my
it didn't
gosh.
need to happen. None of it.
Padding, man, padding.
The most cliched one, Geoff, in the world, with the chain and the shirt open, with the I'm a Bill's bondsman, eh? The Fonz.
It wasn't as much padding as Killdozer from the other night. But padding nonetheless.
Nothing.
For those that don't know,
I've never gotten over it.
yeah, for those that don't know, myself, Ryan, and Jeff did a watch along of Killdozer on Saturday night. If you're interested in that, the video is up on YouTube. Watch it. We show the movie on the screen so y'all can watch it with us. So it's it was a good time. All right, so after this scene, then we suddenly cut to Rick and Cindy at a Mexican restaurant. Now, this does not look like a Mexican restaurant. This looks like it was, I don't know if it was a Chinese restaurant or an Indian restaurant or something.
Well, this scene again to me looked like it was just somebody's house.
That's what I thought too. Yes, exactly.
The only reason I said it's a Mexican restaurant because they do show an exterior shot of some Mexican restaurant. It says Mexican restaurant on it, and there's a sombrero on the wall.
Oh my god.
That's it. That's the
I
only way
missed
you
that
tell it's a
detail.
Mexican. Yeah.
And in John D. Hart's mind, that is the signal how you know what kind of a restaurant you're at. You throw a sombrero on the wall.
And the music wasn't very Mexican restaurant-y at all.
It was very loud, I can tell you
loud.
that.
You couldn't hear the dialogue or the music in this scene. That's what I remember most about this scene is there's guitar. I mean, I guess it's guitar, so like it's probably like Spanish guitar or whatever. But
yes,
it's over top of them talking. You can't hear a thing they're saying.
Yeah, as well as the water. It's like a waterfall or something, a water fountain, and like the shot starts on the water fountain, and you hear as it pans over to them.
This is a classy joint, everybody. There's a water fountain in here.
So then Benny, who's apparently the owner of the restaurant, comes up to the table.
He's like, great, again, here he comes today. Oh, please.
And apparently Rick and Cindy have frequented this place quite a bit. because he knows them by name.
Yes.
So he walks up, and Rick tells two of the lamest freaking doctor jokes I've ever heard in my life. They're not funny.
Please, did you happen to write them down? Because I don't think I ever like caught them properly before.
Position jokes, right? He calls them.
Yeah, no, I didn't
Got some
write them
position
down.
jokes for you.
They're definitely not like dad jokes.
But no, they're worse than dad jokes. They're not funny.
Worse than
like,
dad
at all.
jokes. Okay.
Yeah,
It's
but they're
terrible.
The owner doesn't even react to these jokes.
No, he's like, that's very good.
It's like
They're
the camera
all
angle, like kind of behind the owner, and you can't even see the owner. It's just all you see is
It's them.
Cindy and Rick sitting there.
Mhm.
All you hear is guitar, and you can tell they're talking to somebody who's just to the side of the camera, but you can't like tell who they're talking to or hear most of the conversation.
I almost thought it was dubbed in afterwards, possibly, right? Because it was so low, but also it had nothing to do. It was like, oh yes, that's so funny. Ha, you're great. Ha.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Pretty much. Yeah.
You're the best customer. You're my best customer.
At the room, yeah. You're my favorite customer.
Like, right?
Rick, you show up here every time you got a young woman you want to sleep with.
Yes, this is John. This is his. This is the best customer scene. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. So okay, so let's see.
Are you going to talk about the toast?
I was
There's the
just getting-
Go
champagne.
ahead. Go for it.
Oh no.
So Rick then decides to toast Benny. Toast Benny for having. What does he say? He says he salutes to the best food in town. So
Yeah.
this little winky dink, little hole in the wall has the best food in town. And let's see who's in the spot.
And I got the best jokes in town.
And now, and also, John DeHart does, his character, but it seems like very John DeHart. He asks the owner to have a toast with them, and the owner, it's very low, but you hear the owner go, no, I'm just gonna watch. Like, yeah.
Oh, I didn't even hear that.
Go back and listen to it.
That
I
would've
can
made
hear
it
the
even
Champagne
better.
Bullets version, but the GetEven one, you can clearly goes, no, that's okay. I'm just gonna watch. like he wants no part of it. Like, yeah. Yep.
Oh, great catch. I'm gonna have to rewatch
Brutal.
Go back.
brutal
My friend and
rejection.
I were in. We just watched the GetEven version the first time this weekend. We were in tears. I'm like, how did we not hear that the first time? That's great. Like, I'm like, the owner wants nothing to do with it. No, that's okay. I'll just watch. He doesn't want to toast that it's their favorite restaurant. He's like,
So-
no, that's okay.
It does. So the Vinegar Syndrome Blu-ray then. So there's no captions then, I'm assuming then for this, because I guess how could you come up with a script?
Yeah, no, not on the GetEven cut. I think on the Champagne and Bullets cut, there's captions.
Yeah.
Not on,
Ooh.
Yes.
Is that how you figure out what he's saying half the time? Is by reading the captions?
That's what I'm thinking. Please, we need them, like deciphering.
So then, okay, so they're still at the restaurant. A lady comes and takes their picture with the Polaroid camera, and she gives it
And
to
she
them.
sings for them.
I love it.
She serenades them.
She does. She sings first. That's right. She sings this little blah blah blah. You like a picture, blah blah blah.
Here's my little rhyme about why
$50,
you buy a
right?
photo from me. Yeah.
Yeah.
You like it?
And then when they receive the Polaroid, Rick has another wonderful line. It says, "It looks just like us."
Yeah. Yeah. It looks just like
What?
Yeah.
It's a freaking Polaroid. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
gonna look just like you, jackass.
And the woman wants to leave too, right? I'm sorry, what were you saying?
Oh no, it's like as if it were a caricature. Yeah, instead of
Oh,
like, yeah, like it looks just like
picture.
you. Yeah.
Yeah.
You just drew this right now.
And he says to her, "Man, you got some pipes on you." And, wait, what? Like, hold on.
In all fairness, she is a better singer than he is.
Yes. Now that.
This is
Her
absolutely
little,
true.
her little 10-second jingle was way better than the entirety of the Shimmy slide.
Yeah.
He's gonna recruit her for another video or something. He's like, oh, here, give me your digits.
Yeah.
Okay, so this was at nighttime because the exteriors were nighttime. So I assume it's at night. Then they cut to the next scene where Rick and Cindy are sitting on a swing having a picnic. And the only reason we know they're having a picnic is there's a picnic basket by their feet. There's no
And he's a
food.
romantic.
There's no nothing except for this one thing.
Specializes in class.
If anything, ugh.
So this is where we learn about Cindy has fallen in with the wrong side.
And she just
Gasp.
she just blurts it out too. There's
Yeah,
no
it's like no
there's no
rhyme.
clear
no
reason
reason.
why she's suddenly
No.
saying,
It's
"Well, I
like-
just fell into the life."
You know, I joined the cult, right? So
Yeah.
that's a side.
And I feel like since they dated before, this is a story she would have told before, not just like now. Like
Yeah.
out of nowhere. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it does boggle the mind a little bit because she's obviously very, very young. There's a significant age difference there. So if enough time
Yes.
passed between when they previously dated for her to be in a cult for a while,
Yeah.
and then escape the cult, get back to her life, and then date him again, was she like 16 the last time they dated?
Yeah.
It's a little like maybe I shouldn't have gone down this path of thinking about that because she's so much younger than him. But they're acting like substantial time has passed since they last dated.
I mean,
Right.
with this guy, I wouldn't be surprised at all. You bring up a very good point.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, I
didn't think of it
agree.
that way, but I'm like, you know what? You're right. Yeah, if I connect the dots, yeah.
Yeah, it's just occurring to me now, and it's upsetting.
Remember after high school when I joined that cult
Highly
in
upsetting.
college? Oh. Ooh.
Oopsie. So yeah, so she has joined a cult, did drugs with them, the whole deal. They are a devil worshipping cult. That's very important for them. So, and then we also find out that those guys at the bar that were trying to kidnap her are part of this cult.
Mhm.
So it's like, okay, so now stuff's making a little bit of sense.
Guy, Karen,
Convenient,
friends
right?
are part of this cult. Yes.
So then, while she's telling the story to Rick, it goes into a flashback scene. So what they call it the coven. So I'm gonna say coven. Coven is led by none other than
Dun, dun.
Normad.
Normad.
Yeah,
Emphasis on the
Normad.
mad. Normad.
With that voice, that distinct voice, I never knew.
He's wearing a lot of eyeliner in that scene too. I remember like
Oh my
immediately
goodness,
that jumping out
is-
at me.
And
So
the
this is-
666 on the altar got me. I was like, okay, this is Halloween style.
like-
Like,
This is like high school play level
Yeah.
scenery here.
Yeah, I mean it's yeah. So that's what the coven looks like.
It's like a high school play that was trying to mock the Like a Prayer video from Madonna. With all those candles.
The high school talent show version.
Yeah.
So in this flashback, Normad is also sacrificing a baby. Okay? So Cindy yells out at Normad, and then she's like, "No!" And so they tie up Cindy, and they tie her up, they gag her, the whole deal, like onto like this, like I don't know if it was like an inverted cross or something, but
yeah.
let's see. So then they cut back to the story. So we don't know how she got out of the
My
coven,
question, yes.
how she escaped, anything. We have no idea because it's never explained anywhere in the movie at all.
It's also I remember at this point being a little confused about whether the connection was made about Normad for Rick. Like did he say like I feel like
No.
while he's telling the story, that connection is still not there, right?
Okay, so the audience knows that Normad is no. Rick does not know. Cindy does not know who he is either. She just knows he's the leader of the cult. I don't think she even knows his name. Nothing like that.
It sounds familiar, though.
Somebody in
from
the
back
chat's
in
got to
the
get
day.
booted there.
Yeah.
Maybe it's the girl from the scene. From
Oh
the
my
scene.
God! Yeah, Cindy's here. No, the woman.
We
the
need
woman
that
from the
girl
bar,
call up.
the
There's
cowboy girl from
naked
the bar
girls.
Is telling
Yes!
me to put up a strip for us. Don't be such a square. Just let her strip. My God, everybody else is having fun.
Oh, yeah.
Online.
Why can't you be
strip?
like my other daughter?
I love the grammar. Online strips without clothing. Like, wait, what?
Yeah. Wait.
Oh, there's a lot going on there.
Online strips without clothing.
Yeah. Real special. So thanks, Naked HD XYZ online strips without clothing.
That was
Uh,
that
She
was
likes
helpful
you. She'll have
information.
3 comments.
Yeah, really appreciate it. All right, so she they knew we were talking about the coven. They wanted to get in on it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the
all right.
coven trying to distract us because we're about to out their entire way of life.
Yes.
So
Those
okay,
Hollywood
so,
drug addicts.
so we cut back to them at the picnic on the swing, and so she's like, the coven, they're trying to kill me, kind of thing.
You
And
know,
Rick-
as they do. Very calm.
They do, right? So, so Rick
And, you know,
says-
we're talking about a baby being sacrificed, and you think it's like we're laughing because it'd be really horrible, but it is so. Guys, help me! Like, it is so done. Like, I don't want to say cheesily, but it's so.
It's largely
Sure.
her acting that I think makes it feel cheesy and laughable because
Yeah.
you see her being tied to the pole.
Yes.
She's upset because the baby is being sacrificed, but she's going,
Ah,
"Ah!" she's doing this like cry scream thing. Oh, you gotta do it, and it's just obnoxious. And then when they jump cut back to her on the bench, she says like, "They sacrificed the baby." and I really think it's her bad acting that makes the baby sacrifice just something you have to laugh at because her reacting to it is so hideously laughable.
Yeah.
yeah. And the sad part is she's one of the better actresses in the movie.
That's true. She's not, I guess, because we're about to get to the part that is the worst acting moment of the entire film.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Even the baby in this scene looks like
Oh.
it's embarrassed to be in this. Yeah, it even looks embarrassed.
Please never don't give me any credits in this movie. I never want to grow up to be this.
Yeah.
All right, so
I just
Rick
realized we've
and-
been at this for over an hour and we're what, only 30
Oh
minutes?
my god!
Yeah.
It's taking us longer to talk about it than swap the film.
Yeah. So
So much
Rick's
to cover.
response,
So much.
yeah. So
We're
Rick's
not
response,
exaggerating at all either. For all of you who've never seen
no,
it.
not at all. Like,
The slide took a
no, no, no.
while. That was a
So Rick's
long.
response is don't be scared. We'll work through this. That's his initial response. Okay. So then all of a sudden we find out that Rick is a former actor. And
Is he though? Can we verify
Out of
that?
nowhere, I feel like she abruptly says, like, I don't want to talk about the dead baby anymore. Why don't
Right.
you do a thing for me? Like,
yeah, what were you, an actor? Yeah.
yeah.
So then he proceeds to do the to be or not to be soliloquy.
Oh, he's again charm. Just like this is what we want to hear. Like yes, charm us with this. Yes.
In the most deadpan, lifeless. I mean, I don't even know what else words to use, but it's so off.
Do you think that was what he was doing when he was going on auditions? Like was he giving the Hamlet soliloquy?
Ooh, maybe so.
Because he had it down pat. I mean that particular
No,
the
he pulls
particular
his out.
dialogue.
And
was-
He had the,
And I also
he had the words correct.
I heard he does the whole scene in the Champagne and Bullets cut. Is that true?
Yes,
It's like shorter in the Get Even.
it is shorter in the Get Even. That is the one part of the Get Even cut that's not better than the Champagne and Bullet.
It's worth
Much-
seeing the whole thing, is what you're saying?
Yeah. So if he could just re-edit the rest of it in, like I think it would just be the perfect mishmash of everything. It really is.
Super cut.
And yeah, I believe you can watch that clip on YouTube as well. I believe. So go look for that.
It probably
Right.
is.
I mean this
So-
is a lot of second-hand embarrassment here.
Your secondhand
So-
embarrassment, that's a good way to describe that scene. Like you feel bad for him watching it.
Yes.
But apparently, the soliloquy works because the next scene is the first love scene of the movie. It starts by the fireplace. They
As
have
it should.
and there is so in the Get Even cut, I want to say the scene's maybe about 4 minutes or so.
It feels longer, but that's
3
probably
or 4.
It feels like a whole movie.
And
It's planned.
this is the scene, like with the ice on the nipples, the whole deal. Okay, I mean it's a long, drawn out sex scene. Okay,
He's been wanting to do this, I think.
and over the sex scene, we get another lovely song
Starting
sung
over.
by John DeHart.
Yes. Yes.
You fool, right? There's a line that says, you
No,
fool.
I don't think. Is this the starting over one?
This is the starting over
This
one.
is starting over. Okay.
So he sounds like he's dying in the song while this love scene is happening.
Yeah.
And I'm not exaggerating at all.
And he says it like there's this one line where he goes like really deep, probably like out of his like normal range. He's like, and now you feel the thunder dying. It's so not sexy, not
No.
romantic,
No, not at all.
and it's his usual like off key. And is she the female? Because it's a duet. Is the actress singing the female part, or is it?
I
somebody
hope
else?
so.
I never
No,
like researched that.
It
know?
was a hired singer.
Okay.
From what? Yes.
The photographer lady?
Yeah, the photographer. I was gonna ask that.
Just like, I do this on the side.
Yeah.
You duet while you make love to your lady.
and I don't know, like his
Looks just like you.
faces though. When
Sounds
she's
just
all
like
up on him, like his face, he's like, oh, it's kind of like that.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I would be terrified.
I remember being very also weirded out, and I don't know if maybe it's this because I'm a woman, but in that scene, she is like pretty much naked. He's fully clothed,
Yeah, he has
and
like
that's
two
like
legs
very
on.
odd too. I mean, not that I'm dying to see him like with his shirt off or something, but something about that makes it feel like he's at a peep show and he has paid for the situation. I don't know.
And don't you feel like he would want the opportunity to take it off? I feel like he would drop it at the moment's notice if he had the choice. So I feel like, he's holding back or something.
He doesn't
he's
get.
feeling
Now that I
himself.
think about it, he does not go fully shirtless at all in this film, does he?
Nope,
So
not
maybe
once.
he was not happy with his physique. Maybe it kind of showed his age, so he wanted to stay fully covered.
Which is shocking because he's like
The veil.
slowly
The
holding himself
veil.
the whole time.
Pull back the veil of the Wizard of Oz now. There's a buff man behind this curtain, pay no mind.
Yeah, please pay no mind, please. Yeah, right.
So after we're put through this excruciatingly long sex scene, which is, by the way, the Champagne and Bullets version goes on for about double the length.
And now he's just staring at her, like he's just like it's
It's
yeah.
bizarre. Yeah.
It's like a possession.
And it,
Staring into your soul.
basically, yeah.
The eyes.
Yeah.
So after this lovely scene, we go back to Laney's bar, and Rick and Huck are hanging out. And
Speak Hamlet to them. Do you have to hear it?
Who's apparently two sheets to the wind.
Legit
Yeah,
trash. Yes, Al. Yes,
He's
legit.
getting trashed throughout this entire movie, which is fantastic. And so they're hanging out. He's like, "Hey, why don't you do your Hamlet thing?" And he talks to the people across the bar. He's like, "Hey, you want to hear my friend do Hamlet?"
Of course they do.
And he's like, "Well, yeah, who wouldn't, right?" So
He's like, it's written by Hamlet. It's like,
Please do it, please.
They thought if they could get him doing Hamlet, it would stop him from getting up there and singing again.
Right.
Or leading to it. Oh, it was so good. Lead right into that, please. Do the whole night tonight. No strippers. No, please, no.
Yeah, they're avoiding the strippers.
From the shimmy slide to the Hamlet hustle.
So this time Huck has one of the best lines here. And Huck, this is towards the other patrons at the bar that he asked if they want to hear Hamlet. He goes, "Who's Hamlet? Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
You got let's see. You got no class. My buddy can speak Hamlet.
We can speak
Speak Hamlet.
My buddy can speak Hamlet.
Comes right out.
Yeah. So, so yeah, he's drunk as a skunk. And Rick informs Huck that he's moving out and moving back in with Cindy. So he and Cindy have gotten back together at this point, and Huck is going to need a new roommate.
Oh.
So, all right. So, Huck, just slams another one. He's like, fine, all right. So, let's see. We find out that Huck's wife, Alex, is cheating on him. Okay?
With everybody? Question mark?
With apparently everyone.
Kind of what he implies,
like-
yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, Ray, you probably slept with her, blah blah blah. In his drunken state.
Because he's such a charming man.
But he was already living with Rick, so obviously they'd been separated. Like that's something that never. I mean, I never questioned it too much, but
Yeah.
that definitely doesn't seem to make sense. Like, why is he complaining about her running around when they obviously haven't been in a relationship for a while?
Yeah.
Like, it's all very.
And he looks like he's living there too, because he's like very comfortable on the couch
with that
and-
TV right there.
Yeah, and drinking and
TV in the middle of the living room.
Yeah.
yeah. What was up with that?
Yeah, that scene was really confusing. So wait, he was. We're probably getting ahead of things.
So we're
Still at Laney's bar, right?
Yeah. So okay. So Rick gets mad at him. Then it just cuts to Huck. I assume it's the same night.
Well, before we leave Laney's bar, there's a little tidbit I wanted to point out there. Rick is wearing this hideous polo shirt with these wide stripes. Over time, we realized it was a super expensive Ralph Lauren polo shirt, like a classic early 90s Ralph Lauren polo shirt. And we actually Googled it and we found it for sale somewhere. Somebody had a vintage Ralph Lauren polo shirt, the exact one, for sale for like $200. I was like, oh, Joe, I would have bought that for you for like a Halloween costume, but not at that price.
Yeah.
So that polo rugby, that's in
Polo
his
rugby,
shirt
yeah.
was the
Polo rugby
original
shirt.
Oh, very interesting.
And you can't, the way the lighting is and the color of the shirt and everything, you actually can't read the lettering very well. That was why it took us a while to put it together. But it's a Ralph Lauren polo rugby shirt, like
Nice.
classic, and it was hugely expensive at the time too. So it's like a little bit funny that this disgraced cop who just quit his job as a limo driver is wearing these expensive designer clothing. Like,
We knew he was a drug dealer.
Yeah,
I know, like,
he was, yeah.
Heard some things on the street.
There's a lot of tucked in shirts, dress shirts in this movie too, and the jeans and everything. Just
You're
that's
right.
a really thing.
everything's tucked in and like puffy. Yeah.
Yeah, he looked like Lex Luger or something. Like that's what he used to wear back in the '80s, like when they used to
Yeah.
like look all like puffy shirts.
Which is consistent with Joe Exotic. Like
Yeah.
that's where I think
It all goes back to
white
that.
leather pants, puffy shirt is Joe Exotic to a T.
This was his inspiration. I think this is what happened.
Yeah. Joe saw Champagne and Bullets and was like, "That's it. That's what
This
I'm
is my
doing."
life.
Yep.
Sky's the limit.
This guy's
Right,
the limit. That's right. I could sing. I could do
What-
movies. I could do a reality TV show.
Oh, I would kill for a John D. Hart reality.
Oh my!
Please,
Wouldn't we all?
please.
Like a documentary, the making of, like just following him making a film. That would be amazing.
So then after the bar part, we cut to Huck in his bathroom, I guess.
Yeah.
He has
Something.
all of his bills. Okay, he has like a stack of bills, and he's holding them up, and he has a pistol, and he's just shooting the bills in his hand.
Is that what that was? Oh, I thought it was
Yeah.
a cap gun. Oh, so it was a gun.
So
I love Wings Hauser.
Huck now wakes up on his couch with the TV all snowed out, okay? And Alex shows up, his ex-wife, and
For an
she
intervention.
And is this his house? This is his house, right?
asks-
Like
this is his house.
she shows up to demand alimony or something, right?
This is this house right here. That's the
Okay.
sofa. Right there.
There's his friend.
his friend.
So Alex shows up, and she's asking for her court-appointed money. She's like, "You never give me my money. Blah blah blah. You're a piece of crap." And there's this big long scene where she mentions Norman. and he mentions that Nomad is a judge now. So he's gone from being a lieutenant to being a judge, which I'm not sure exactly how that works, but okay. So Alex gets mad at Huck, and she calls the cops. And he rips her shirt
Oh,
and acts like Huck's being abusive to her.
and maybe trying to kill me, she said. And maybe.
And trying to
Maybe.
kill her. Right.
It's a possibility. It was in the
So the
cards.
cops, Huck's doing all of his wonderful just F you cop, blah 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 thing. And
It's worth
once
pointing
again-
out that to simulate abuse, he rips her shirt open so you get a full view of her tatas.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's totally
You know,
gratuitous.
instead of like hitting herself with a bottle or something. She
Right,
rips
that's-
her shirt open.
This was an excuse to have some nudity. Yes,
Exactly.
Yes,
Exactly.
I agree.
More
I agree.
nudity. This
More.
is at least the
nudity.
third person we've seen nude.
Hmm.
So the cops arrest Huck, and then the very next scene, we see Alex in a different outfit. Well, yeah, I guess she had to change. She ripped her shirt, so I guess she had to change. So
You can't
Alex
just walk
goes-
around like that
Yeah, that's
unless
true.
you're at Lady
I would have
Hart.
kept it right tattered just to be like, look what happened to me. This really happened.
Well, that was what she did. She ran out to the cops and said, "Oh, he's
Oh,
right.
yeah.
Well, you've got to arrest him." Yeah.
I would
problem
again,
is,
and I would
though-
believe her. He was sorry, Jeff. He was irrational.
Yeah,
That's
I was
true. You
being
make any
probably-
sort of accusation you want against Wings at that point.
Yeah, pretty much.
He could have been really getting arrested at this point. We don't know. The lines were blurred in this
It's
scene.
very popular.
He was really out of it.
He's like, I played a
But when the
cop,
cop's
damn you.
face is blurred, because if the cops' faces were blurred, then we know it was real arrest footage.
And apparently a quick tidbit about this scene. Wings Hauser actually spits on the actress. He actually spits on her. And
Oh, in real life?
Yeah. In real life, they couldn't stand each other. This is on the commentary track on Champagne and Bullets.
Shocked.
So yeah, I thought that was interesting.
They
Yeah, so
couldn't stand each other. They were in that one scene.
They were in that one scene, but they didn't. But he couldn't. I know he couldn't. I think
Because he
they
probably
both
believed it. He thought that was really his ex-wife.
couldn't. So yeah,
Probably.
He's going through some stuff, man. Yeah.
so the spit was not in the script. That was completely.
Oh,
Interesting.
damn.
So okay,
Those
so
little
she
trivia
comes
tidbits I'm getting tonight from this movie.
I know, of course. Al brings the facts.
forward. So Alex goes to Normad at his compound, aka the Coven. And
Yeah.
Normad gets mad at her because she says that she mentioned him to Huck. So he's like, "Oh, really?" Blah! And he just starts slapping her around.
But she doesn't
Whoa.
move.
Stands her
Um,
ground.
And it's So after that, we cut back to a court scene, and Huck is in court, and of course, who's the judge? Normad.
The way he's
man, I
wearing
wanna
his
keep
gown
going.
looks like he's in like Supercuts about to get his hair cut. Like the way
It does.
Yes. That's
Yes, it
a
doesn't
perfect
look-
comparison. I kept thinking it looked like a weird hospital gown, but black, but you're right.
yeah, same.
A bad barbershop
Right.
apron thing is a better description. It's like, yeah, there is something up with that judge's robe. It's like a Halloween
So-
costume, like a bad Halloween costume version.
Yeah.
The budget must have been, oh my god, I can't imagine.
Well, he funded the whole movie himself, correct?
Oh, there you go.
And he's a
Yeah.
lawyer, right? Was he?
Yeah.
He's a lawyer.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
we're gonna get to that after. But okay, so of course they put Nomad back in jail, and no bail and contempt of court, all this stuff. Okay? So then-
And also, real fast, Al, during the scene when he puts him no bail back in jail, at first, Normad, I mean, he wasn't even like doing anything wrong. Wings is the one that starts, Huck starts provoking him, starts yelling at him again because he's
True.
drunk and, and then, of
Drunk and
course,
disorderly.
Normad, like, he, get more flies with honey, but he yelled
Pretty
at
much.
him. He was like the bad guy in the scene, Huck, versus,
Yeah, and of course, in the background, in the background we have Laney and Rick are hanging out in the background, like sitting there watching, observing. So after Huck gets arrested again, Rick and Laney come out of the courtroom and they confront the DA who did nothing for Huck. And
Why would you? Why would anybody? Like, he's so unlikable. Like, that's one of the things that's like perplexing about the way that character is written. It's like, are we supposed to have some kind of empathy for him or care about what happens to him?
Right.
He's unlikable and just confusing.
Of the villain, if he would have been the villain, I hated him the whole entire movie. Every time,
honestly,
I was like,
if this movie had thrown in a twist that Wings was somehow actually in league with Normad, I would have said,
yeah,
but
you
no,
would have.
of
You just
course
made
not
the whole
gonna go
movie
there.
even better. If that would have happened.
I know, damn. So okay, so they confront the DA, and Rick has another fantastic line here. He says, "Listen, you polyester puppet." So he calls the DA a polyester puppet, and so he's like, "You can't do this. Normad knows him. Blah blah blah. He can't be the judge. Blah blah blah." So then we cut to Huck sitting in a jail cell. Now this jail cell looks like this was in somebody's basement too.
Right around the corner from the arcade. Turn around, it's right there, probably.
So he's just hanging out in the cell by himself, and a janitor is mopping the floor. Okay, like outside of the cell, and Huck grabs a bottle of bleach and like downs it. All right, so.
Well, he just drinks whatever's in the bucket. So, like,
Yeah.
I guess we're left to assume it's bleach or whatever, but it's a janitor's bucket. He just puts down the
Feces,
janitor's
possibly,
bucket.
right? It's like,
Well, we do later find out that it was. But okay. So then it cuts to the hospital scene. So Huck is now in the hospital. So he did that to get out of jail and go into the hospital. And he's sitting there with Sister Mary Rebecca.
my favorite character.
Yeah. He looks like she's 25.
It looks like she's
She
25,
talks like this.
and she delivers every single line just like this. No emotion.
I have to go
whatsoever.
to the next room for prayers. Come with me. Don't ask any questions.
That
She's
is
a
her.
nun. He couldn't accept Rick's 25 cents to buy a personality.
Right?
She needed 50 cents, and she's convinced.
So if you really look at her face during this scene, okay, Rick's lying in the bed. Okay, he's lying in the hospital bed, and she's sitting there in a chair. And if you really watch her face, the actress starts laughing.
She
I never
forces it.
noticed that. That's amazing.
I can't blame
She starts laughing. And then Rick and Cindy come in to visit Huck. And so here we learn that Rick and Cindy are about to go up to Santa Barbara to get all of her stuff from her dad's house.
As he walks in, though, as Rick walks into the room, there's this one moment that sticks out in my mind. It's so mundane, but it's so awful. It sticks out in my mind. There's this disembodied voice. Like, the camera cuts away from Rick. You just see Wings sitting there, and you hear Rick's disembodied voice saying, "How you doing?" And it's another case where the editing is so bad that it sticks out of my mind like crazy. How you doing? They clearly added it later in post, and why? Like, I don't know. Do they feel like it was too abrupt that he just walked in and started talking about Santa Barbara or whatever? I don't know.
Baby. Yeah,
Maybe.
I love your jokes. You're my favorite customer. Like we said before, that's just...
Yeah.
Please say another one about positions.
So then it cuts
And Wings
to,
is smoking during this scene too, right?
Yeah, Wings is smoking.
It's
in the hospital.
smoking.
And he's
Yeah.
drinking water, but I think it's vodka.
Probably.
He makes
I
her
agree.
laugh.
I agree.
She gets up to leave.
Smoking
and
the
Rick
cigarette.
I think Rick Laney's with it, right? They come into Cindy
Rick
come
and
into the room, and you could still see her laughing. Like she's still. It's even worse
Yeah.
when she's up with them. She's like like trying to hide her face. Oh, it's great. I'm glad you brought that up, Al.
Because because Wings was so funny in this scene.
Oh, he's so funny. Yeah.
Like he's funny throughout this whole freaking movie.
Oh yeah.
So next scene we see Rick and Cindy go to Santa Barbara in this like little tiny ass Jeep. I don't know what this one was. It's about this big.
It looked like one of those. What was that little SUV that everybody's driving at the time?
That would be a Suzuki Sidekick.
That's what it looked like. One of those Suzuki's.
Sidekick.
I think it was. I think
It's
I think that's
adorable.
Yeah, pretty much. That's about the only way you could describe it.
It got there fast, though, right? I mean, record time to her parents' house or her father's house.
I mean, you probably had to crank the key like a clown car, but it got there eventually.
Twist it up, exactly.
So they get to the dad's house, and the dad wants nothing to do with anybody. He's just
Wait. Step back for a moment, Al, because the door opens and you see her dad and I guess who's presumably her stepmom. Maybe I think it's assumed that this is not her biological mom, but I'm not sure it's clearly stated at all.
Right? But
their appearance alone is like distracting because her dad is about the same age as Rick.
Yeah.
Has a rather smoothish mustache going on.
Mm-hmm.
Mom/stepmom, whoever she is, looks younger than Cindy.
Right.
She looks about 25, but they've done her hair and her makeup in such a way that they're like trying to make her look harsh and older.
Right.
So their very appearance alone begs a lot of questions before anybody even says anything.
Right. Very true. Extremely true. Exactly. So
it looks like they're the same age. Her dad and Rick. That's I never thought of that. Ugh.
yeah.
Ugh.
Right. So,
Although, I mean, I guess their age difference wasn't as bad. Vanessa, it looked like while we were chatting here, Vanessa discovered that she was actually in her 30s. I mean, good for her. She looked younger. So,
Oh wow.
Yeah, she did.
what's up, Jim?
Hi, Jim.
Yeah.
Staying up late.
So I guess their age difference wasn't quite as wretched as we've been assuming, but I still feel like it all feels wretched. Everything about their romance is wretched.
I think it's played that she's younger too. That he got the younger girl because he's a stud singer.
He's the best.
Tough guy who's
Yeah.
singing country music.
Stares you down.
So
Throws a quarter at you.
So they're standing outside the dad's house, and the dad believes that Cindy is still involved with all the satanic cult stuff.
As she was for the short time.
And, as you do.
Yeah.
And so he thinks Rick is also involved. He's like, "Why are you bringing this idiot around?" Blah blah blah. And she's like, "I'm coming to get my stuff." And Dad's like, "No, you stay here. We'll get your stuff." So then he goes. He grabs like a box and just throws it at him. He's like, here's your.
She went to all this trouble for a box of crappy clothing.
They had it ready too. They're like, "Oh, this is her." Oh. Dad, and she's like, "Dad." I felt her dad when she said it. I felt her offense. That's why she's one of the better actors in this movie. Dad.
Dad. She speaks a little like a teenager. Like, Dad, go
Yeah.
on.
But then, the dad has.
I'm not hanging out with the devil.
Not anymore. Ever since that baby thing.
God, whatever. So the dad calls Cindy, a drug-contaminated devil worshiper from Hollywood.
Yeah. Yes.
And also calls her a gutter snipe.
Gutter snipe. I love that insult.
Gutter snipe.
Yeah, well, actually, when he said gutter snipe, I actually turned to Vanessa and was like, "Ooh, gutter snipe, fancy."
like check. Bing.
It's like multiple syllables, and she got it all out.
Yeah, I was just
You
like,
gutter snipe.
The dad delivers the line
That's right.
almost the same way Al does. It's just he's like the worst actor ever.
Yeah, it's awful.
Just the way like he just read it.
I'm
Yeah, see how
fine.
like Al read it.
I remember thinking that throughout this entire scene, the dad has the same facial expression. It's like this weird sneer of like, "You gutter snipe."
Yeah. I think Ryan's about to follow up with you.
Maybe that was really her father, and he's like, "Oh, this is who your love interest is. You told me just be in your movie for a minute for the weekend.
Right?
This is probably her real house, and her got some boxes, Dad. Anything?
What's going on, Star-Lord?
Hey, Star-Lord.
Star-Lord.
So let's see. So Rick. Okay, so now Rick. This is, I guess, I don't remember where this takes place, but Rick tells Huck's story to Cindy, and
Don't they take their Suzuki and go like park it somewhere? I feel like they're sitting
Yeah,
on
yeah,
the
that's
car
right.
with the
Yeah, they-
sunset, and there's
they-
another
they-
terrible song going.
Their Grease 2 moment in the sunset,
Yeah.
and then Jeff knows I love my Grease 2 moments.
yeah,
That's when she
So,
mentions
yeah,
Normad. I think I know his name, possibly. In the sunset.
Oh, was it that scene where they put it all together? God.
With her outline, outline of her body, and he's leaning on top of her.
yeah.
Very romantic. Again, what a winner.
Yeah.
Charming,
Oh, and
charming.
we actually didn't talk about what he's wearing in this scene either. It's pretty spectacular.
Oh, it's awful.
It's the leather pants and like a striped button down that again, like we talked about, is like kind of puffy and tucked in.
Yeah.
And like I said, this dude is he's got to be in his 50s, early 50s.
Easily.
And, the pants do not work for him whatsoever.
No.
Do you think on IMDb it would tell his age?
You
I
would
think
think,
the
but it
guest
doesn't.
tried to find it and couldn't.
He
Yeah,
sounds like he would be
I
a
love-
vain one, right?
Yeah, no.
He strikes it from the
He's a lawyer. He
internet.
went birth
Delete.
certificate deleted.
Redacted. So Rick also tells Cindy that when Normad testified against Huck and Rick,
Oh,
that the chief inspector believed Normad because Normad taught a self-defense class to him and some other cops. What? Because he taught a freaking class to him, he believed him.
Yeah. One self-defense class.
that's his sensei for life, let me tell you. That was a bonding experience, evidently.
I don't understand at all. Where's the champagne? It's coming.
Star-Lord, or the bullets.
Wait,
Or the bullets.
Oh, Cheetah's in the
Bob
house.
Bruce.
Ooh, another adorable.
Sorry, I can't help it. What's up, Patrick? See, Mob Blues, I gotta yell it.
So
And the year. Ooh.
So now we go back to Laney's bar again.
Again,
And grill. And grill and arcade and
In basement.
strip joint.
I did a lot of legwork with this set, man, that they made. So, yep.
Yeah.
prison cell.
No, wait. I'm sorry. Never mind. We do not go back to Laney's bar. Now we go back to Normad's coven compound, where two of the hoodlums from earlier, we find out their names are Snake and Scar. Two rough and tumble names, right?
What?
Snake and
Why do you
Scar.
think he's named Scar? Everybody, I want to ask the
I
chat.
wonder.
Anyone here take a wild
Does anyone
guess?
wanna- Please take a wild guess why his name is Scar.
Not to be confused
Anyway.
with Guy Fieri from earlier.
It's Katie guy.
So
Scar.
Snake and Scar update Normad on what's going on with all the drug business, okay? And Normad tells Snake and Scar that he wants Cindy dead. So he no longer wants to kidnap her, he wants her dead.
Not Cindy.
Make sure
She's
she's
gone through so
eliminated.
much.
Wait, and then
Wait,
he
it's
says,
never-
make sure.
It's never been made clear why they felt like she was such a problem to begin with.
I guess because
Wait,
she
why-
knew of the cult? I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah, like
They never explain it.
why
Because
did
she
they think
screamed
this dumb
randomly.
bimbo was a problem?
Right. But Nomad does say, make sure she's eliminated before the next coven meeting.
She was. It just hit me. She was the one that got away, like the new
Right.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre. She was the one that got away. She was the one.
Yes.
Was it so? It's
Got
just
it.
a matter of pride. Like you can't let somebody.
That's
get
the
away.
one.
You're-
She's the one that got away from that turned upside down cross in that set, the restaurant set.
We don't know how she got away because she was tied to a cross. And clearly having a meltdown over the baby sacrifice. You would think they assumed that this was going to jeopardize. Like, witness needs to be dealt with right here and now. You'd think.
It must be like Al just did on Friday the 13th Part 3. How did the character get home from the Jason in the beginning? We'll never know, but she's alive and she got home.
We'll never know. So wait. Somebody needs to be caught up. All right.
So needs to be caught
Al,
up.
give a 10-second summary.
Oh God. Let's see. So, basically, this movie is about an old cop who's no longer a cop, and he his girlfriend was part of a coven before, and now she is out of the coven, and now basically the coven is out to kill her.
And other things in
Wingshauser is
between.
there.
And a whole bunch of other things that's happening. Wingshauser's as drunk as a skunk.
Highly inebriated.
Alcohol. I was gonna say alcohol is a flowing.
Yeah.
There's songs involved.
There's songs.
Yeah,
kind of thing.
what Al just described is kind of the main thread, but there's lots of meandering garbage that gets you there.
4-minute
whole
sex
lot.
scenes.
And
Ice cubes.
Yeah. So definitely go back later and watch the beginning of this, and you'll get the whole story.
Did we get to the second sex scene yet?
We're just about to.
Oh my god.
So after that
Four
part,
total.
They never ended. Never ended.
so up next is the second sex scene, and this is the hot tub sex scene.
He's a lover, that man. Ugh.
Yes. So Rick is hanging out in the hot tub, okay, by himself, by the way.
which is decorated with like a bad seafood restaurant, like old
Yes.
fishing nets and cheap seashells on the wall.
Yeah, very strange. Yeah, you're right. Yep, very strange decor. Yes, for
Yeah.
Yes, she saw the baby murder and ran away.
sure.
But she was tied to a pole. I mean,
Yeah, how did she? I still wonder how she got out.
she was tied to a pole like Manos of Fate.
Okay, not too. I mean, it looked like a very sturdy pole. She probably could have just pulled it up and ran.
That's true. We're talking about that cheap set. She just ran to the wall and busted through.
She just did a dive and ran. That's right, exactly.
Board, she just busted out.
Okay, so this hot tub scene lasts. I want to say maybe about 3 or 4 minutes.
Three or four lifetimes.
In the GetEven cut. In the Champagne and Bullets cut, I swear to you, this son of a bitch is about 15 minutes long.
It goes on forever.
It is forever. I don't understand. How much did they shoot? And he left it all in the original cut.
Wouldn't you if you thought you were such hot stuff and you got this beautiful younger woman?
Now look, Pamela Bryant is a gorgeous woman. I will not deny that.
It's
But
very
good lord,
beautiful.
you don't need a 15-minute love scene.
Yeah.
Of her like writhing against him.
Right. It was disturbing. It was disturbing.
Oh, it's disgusting.
He did no work
It was
either.
basically him sitting back in the tub while she. Oh, I'm covered in
It's freaky.
foam.
It's like he had no emotion. She's going
Yeah.
off, and he's just
He was 100% doing all
It's going off. It was going off. And so was he, Jeff. His eyes were exactly like.
I think we're getting at what bothers me about all their love scenes. They all feel gross. Like the one where she was totally naked and he was fully clothed and just watching her and rubbing ice on her and stuff.
Yeah, he
They
had
all feel
bubbles.
they all feel disproportionate in terms of like he's just sitting there watching
Yeah.
and motionless while she like is doing her best soft core. Like
and she's doing a good job too. I mean, she's like
Oh,
very very into it too. Like she
Yeah, she made it look like he was a stud of all
Yeah.
studs.
maybe he has a great actor.
Yes,
Maybe I haven't given
exactly.
her enough credit.
We misjudged that poor woman. Give her
Yeah.
credit right now. Dedicate this stream to Cindy, please.
And while all this is happening, we are treated to yet another John DeHart song. And I sing this one too, Al, because I believe...
There's a few great ones in here, though.
Because
What song was this?
This
gonna
is the
sing
one
it?
where he's almost doing like a bad... I don't know if it's almost like a half yodel, but it's almost like a bad Elvis accent where he's like... I mean, it's like that.
It was Elvis for sure, he thought.
I'll be with you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
You're right.
really?
Oh, you're right. Oh, man.
It's like on some kind of like Gaelic yodel or something, too. But
Gaelic yodels! Right in time for St. Patrick's Day. Get your CD now. $5.99 from the GCap Recap channel.
Recap, recap.
Yeah.
Covers McBooty.
Al, could you show the eyes? Would you mind for anyone who hasn't seen his eyes on that cover? If you need to recap, this explain.
Oh, Jesus. I love our butts right
But Katie's
there,
Dr. V's face is covered, unfortunately. But
This is Rick. This is our
It's
hero.
for the best because I'm chugging liquor.
she's like, I don't want to associate with this.
Yeah. I'm not here. I'm not here.
and right next to his face is the lovely Pamela Bryant, who is the woman in question.
Yeah, I know. It's.
I mean, yeah.
And Will Smith in that picture looks
Jim
constipated.
is blown away. He is absolutely blown away by this. Yeah. I say watch this movie and drink every time they do. Oh God.
This is an idea that come up repeatedly. GetEven drinking game. This might need to happen. We might need to sketch something out.
But would this lead to like rehab? I feel like this you would just be put it right here and
Is
a
it
vine.
going to lead to total disaster? Like,
So apparently
Oh my God!
I think he's patterned out. Yes. We actually talked about that earlier, Jim. Yes.
Jim, that was my notes. First 5 minutes.
Percent. Yes. Yes. And more.
He saw a tiger, and a tiger saw him. He sings too, Jim. He sings in this movie.
The
Like
songs are almost as good as the Tiger King song.
You know what? I wouldn't mind a soundtrack of this movie.
How Waxworth or someone has not released this soundtrack on vinyl, I don't know. They need to get in touch with John DeHart. They really do.
I'll put it right there next to my Hard Rock Zombie vinyl. That's how much I...
Exactly.
sexy songs for romantic evenings.
Or Celtic yodeling. That Geof. To shoot him in the pretty much. Or love making eyes, Star-Lord, to every person in this movie, evidently.
I don't think John DeHart knows the difference. Like, what does any emotion look like? They all look the same on him.
They're all the same. Yeah, they're all the same thing. Happy.
Blank,
sad.
dumb look on my face.
Somebody should take a clip of all of the scenes of him just kind of like staring off, edit them all together, and put like the song "Cult of Personality" underneath of it. I think that would be beautiful.
That would be. And have them keep repeating like a wrestling, like video would be like over and over again with the
Yeah,
song
the same clips over and over again. Yeah.
on a Jumbotron.
Wow. So after the end of this excruciatingly long love scene, and it's even long in the...
It's still going right now, actually, as we speak.
It never ended.
There's definitely an ADR moment where John DeHart goes, "Why don't I take you and get married?" In ADR, yeah. So this was not said on set.
Yep.
Did she even agree? We'll never know.
So the next
He
scene
just tied her to a pole like earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is familiar.
the next scene,
Normad.
to Wings Hauser, aka Huck, standing in a swimming pool.
Oh!
Yes.
I was shocked.
In as you can see, fully clothed, and he is going off.
With the hair, what's with the hair coloring
Well,
though?
there's something crazy going on with the exposure in this shot. I can see everybody's hair looks red. It's not
Yeah,
normal. There's
I don't-
something messed up going on.
I don't know if they spilled something on everybody or what happened.
I
don't
thought
know.
they dyed their hair. or
That's what
something.
I thought in a
No,
drunken
it's-
party, cocaine
I think
party.
it's something messed up with the film exposure.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's even
Yeah.
better. That's even
Color
better.
correction. I don't know.
That's even
Because he's talking about like his own like Huck world or something, right? Like Huck.
Yeah,
I don't know what the fuck he's talking about.
And who are those women? Who are
There's
those
the curve. There's the
women?
curve.
See, you said it first, not me.
I don't know what the F is happening with what he's
Who
saying
wants to be
anywhere
right?
in that. Like
With him.
So behind him, okay, so you can't see it in this shot, but on the other side, there's a little sign, okay, that says Huck's Haven.
Yep.
Okay, so I guess this is so. Okay, so my question here,
and his friend is sitting near the pool, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The cigar dude. Yep.
yeah,
Yeah.
his Native American friend,
From Dozer.
Yeah, we're
Yep.
sitting
Yep.
right there on the couch.
Native
Now,
American cigar dude.
we're all treading carefully on that one because we can't use the old names for good reason.
Right.
But yeah, that the wooden friend of his,
That gentleman there.
that gentleman.
So, let's see. So Rick comes in to the scene, and Huck is going off on the story of Huckleberry Finn. He's just going off on it. No rhyme or reason for anything. He's in there with these two ladies in bikinis. No
We
idea
don't know
who they are.
They're barely in bikinis.
Yep.
They're barely
Never
even
seen-
awake, right? They're just like,
They don't know where they are. They're
No.
walking around.
No idea.
Passed out.
They're probably
were they
drunk.
alive? Did anyone check? He's very
I mean,
unhinged.
where even is he? Whose pool is this?
Huck Haven, wherever that is.
Did he just wander the neighborhood and he found these two women in the pool and they allowed him to just wade right in and start?
They were all tying their hair. And then he's like, let me join you.
Yeah. So Rick appears in the scene, and then he leans over and he's trying to talk to Huck, who's just not listening to a damn thing he said. But Rick tells Huck that he's going to marry Cindy, and of course he wants him to be his best man. And so he's like, so it's Sunday, you're gonna be there, blah blah blah. Then it just cuts. There's no reaction from Huck, no nothing. And then we suddenly cut to the wedding on Sunday.
Wait,
You
Al.
better
real
have a
fast.
picture of this wedding. I hope you have a picture of this wedding, Al.
So,
Oh!
Oh,
I looked for it, but I couldn't find a good one.
Al, I was going to
Oh.
say real fast about the Huck's Haven scene. So two
Yeah.
things just real fast. One is my friend, we were just watching the GetEven cut. He told me, I want you to make a sign and have that at your pool this summer. Huck's Haven scene on your, and I'm like, oh, okay, I probably will. So nobody will know what it means except, a few people.
Please.
And
Dude, that-
secondly, on Instagram, I took a picture of him of Wings in the pool, and I took a picture and I instantly put it on Instagram, and I was like, that's when I was like, this is the greatest movie I've ever seen. Please go watch it. The hype is real. And yes, that's Winghauser fully clothed in a pool. And that's not the weirdest thing about this movie. Not even close. That was my caption. Yep.
That's incredible. That's
Yeah.
awesome. Wow.
That scene meant a lot to me.
And please post it on the GCap Instagram, please. We
Oh,
need
yeah,
to
I
see the sign.
I'm going to make
Please.
that sign for sure.
And you need to
Yeah.
dye your hair. Temporary, we'll get you to spray
Orange on top.
It's great.
just a patch right here.
So we cut to the wedding, and the wedding, Rick is in. I don't even know how to describe this thing. It's like a tracksuit. type
Yeah.
thing,
Yeah,
and it's just the most casual thing.
it's
humanly
like
possible.
white with stripes, right? Like white with dark
Yeah.
stripes.
Joe
Yeah,
Exotic,
like-
there we go again.
It is something Joe Exotic would wear. It's something you'd see like Jersey
Yeah.
mob guys wear.
Yeah.
It's like that kind of a tracksuit.
Yeah, exactly.
Like old Jersey mob guys.
Yeah.
yeah,
Something
like
you don't
hanging
wear
out
to a
on-
wedding. Yeah.
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 Not something
Yeah.
you get married in.
No, not
You
at
get a
all.
nice plate of pasta with some meatballs and yeah.
So, so after
Sounds
this,
good right now.
So after this lovely romantic scene, now cut to
Well,
possibly.
wait. I want to add one more thing about the wedding. I
Right.
know I keep interrupting you, Al, but there is
Okay,
one more
no,
thing about
please.
the wedding that cracks me up every time. So you see, like, the camera's on the couple, they're doing their vows. She looks lovely. He looks like a goddamn idiot. But just over his shoulder, you see Wings in this bright orange suit, kind
Yeah.
of like from Dumb and Dumber. He's wearing this bright orange suit,
Yes.
and he's standing there looking like a toddler who has to tinkle. Like he's kind of like popping into the shot and popping back out, popping into the shot and popping back out.
Had to be on something again.
It's
This whole
so
movie.
weird, and his
Totally
hair is
creepy.
standing up like it's. He looks absolutely insane.
Or maybe he just had to urinate.
He might have just had to urinate.
He might. He might.
Me too.
Star-Lord,
What is in a shimmy slide, Star-Lord?
however,
We
I'm
are
sure
all a little bit of Shimmy slide.
Yeah, we've all experienced it tonight.
however, I'm sure we'll bring it up one more time when this is over.
Hey, see you, Jim.
All right, Jim. Take it easy, buddy.
Thank you, Jim, for coming. He has a
Yeah.
great Instagram too, by the way.
Yes.
He does. All right. So now it cuts to the honeymoon night. Okay. And now
Number 3.
Cindy proceeds
Back for
to
more.
do a striptease for Rick. Rick is laying in the bed, okay, drinking some champagne. Okay.
And I believe the
Finally.
Shimmy slide is playing, right? We're hearing the Shimmy slide again.
Yep.
We are,
Very
yeah.
important.
In this
Jimmy
scene.
Slides play. Yep.
So,
Very important.
so Cindy,
Get it in again. Click.
she's stripping, blah blah blah, and Rick's in the bed with champagne.
This
I
poor
think she's
woman.
wearing that outfit that she's wearing in the movie posters, like because she like strips. She's got like
Yeah.
a long
Yep.
glove and
Yeah,
They
um,
used all the budget on that outfit, I think.
yeah.
Yeah,
I think
that
it's that
outfit
exact
right there.
outfit.
And
So,
as
okay.
she's doing this stripping, by the way, he's no selling this at all. Like he's just like, she's just throwing
As
it
usual,
over.
sitting there.
That's
staring.
how I felt during the. I was like, I'm not sure.
So then she slides into the frame with him.
I felt his pain.
Right.
And here they are again. Look, naked girls.
The
Same
naked girls are back. Oh, they heard us talking about striptease.
Ah, damn it, naked girls.
Oh wait, this is a different one though. Instead of strip while
It is,
without
but you know,
clothing, this one's
but you know what? They came at the right time again.
This one's something else, Jeff.
All right, so
His.
so she slides into the frame. He's lying in bed, and she takes a sip from the champagne glass. Okay. Then he proceeds to take the champagne bottle. The champagne glass. Goes to put it onto
Oh!
the table.
well done, Al.
Yes, that happened.
Oh,
You see that?
cameo from Vanessa.
Oh my God,
Love it.
Vanessa, please, award.
Al, it's a replay. Do it again.
That startled me. I wasn't expecting that amazingness. That's the clip. You gotta post that clip on Instagram or someplace.
I mean, it's
Oh,
the
wow.
best of it. Once you catch it, it's
You can't
you
unsee it.
stop. And you gotta watch it like 3 or 4 more times. 'cause you
They
can't
got a
believe it.
stagehand in their honeymoon suite, apparently.
It's so obvious that I thought Huck was going to be in there or something for real. The first time that happened, I thought they were going to pan over and he was going to be in there like
Like egging him on, like, yeah.
would have been great.
It's this thing.
That was a good job, Al. Well done.
I had that plan for days.
Oh, good. Well, it worked off wonderfully. Thank you for thank you.
So okay, so that happens, and then we cut back to Laney's bar. Now we finally go back to Laney's bar. The guys, all 4 guys from the Coven show up, and they attack the bartender lady for like no reason because they're not giving them any information. And So now, okay, that's the end of Laney's bar. Now we cut
Yeah.
to Cindy and Norman the next morning. I mean, Cindy and Rick the next morning, after they got married. And
Aw.
for some reason, Rick has a picture. I guess it's of the three of them. I assume, because we never see the picture. But she sees the picture, and Cindy's like, "Hey, this guy right here, he's the high priest of the coven."
He's the dude that killed the baby.
He's right. Exactly. So Rick gets up out of the bed, because Rick's in the bed. He gets up and he walks over, and his delivery of this next line absolutely kills me. He goes, "What? Really? Really?" And I literally had to stop the movie because I was laughing so damn hard. He said it.
Is he that man that you want in your side to calm you down in the most shocking of situations, when you say that there's a cult and a coven of satanic people, and he's just like, really?
I feel like he must hear a lot in his life, like his real life as an attorney, and it's just made him so inured to his clients could say the craziest stuff to him, and he's just like, I understand. I know how to handle this.
Yeah.
He just looks so numb, like to all
Yeah.
of it.
Yeah.
Al, I thought one of the amazing things too was because don't we all have pictures of our arch enemies that tried to ruin our lives around our house, like for everybody to see photos?
And it
like
reminds
when
us
I'm
of our
in-
life that was ripped away from us by that person, by the
Yeah.
of us all being cops together.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. 100%.
Right next to our holiday pictures, we got the
Getting off the topic of the movie, but still staying on John D. Hart, what kind of clients do you think he gets at that?
Well, I think we haven't even gotten to his personal life yet, really. We
Yeah,
keep
I
know, but
keep
we're-
sort of
yeah.
dancing into it. But
Yeah, but that's something we should talk about later.
yeah.
Okay.
Well, it sounds like Al did some research, so I'm hoping you know what his specialty is, and we can learn more about him.
We shall see.
Okay.
All right. So now it's starting to ramp up now, because now Rick knows it's now
The
it's
movie's
on.
just
This is
starting to go
where-
somewhere, and we're in the last 15 minutes.
Finally, it's getting somewhere.
So it begins.
So Rick and Cindy,
The opening credits have now ended, and
so Rick and Cindy leave on a motorcycle, and they suddenly start to get chased by two of the coven members in a car. I think it's a BMW. So there's this, they're going to this big chase scene, right? Although it's fairly slow for a chase. But yeah, so they're trying to get away, and all of a sudden I think you hear a crash. You don't see anything. And then the coven pulls up in their car. They get out and they look. And we see Cindy's dead next to the motorcycle. And one of them goes, "We got her." So I guess they shot at him.
Oh, is that what happened? Is that what happened? She's kind of just there.
Yeah.
He's just kind of like,
yeah, it is just like
next-
we just cut to the bike lying down. The two of them are lying down.
it's just
Okay, something happened, I guess.
And
But,
not-
it's very weird.
Any of the cuts has no extra, like, anything, a knife, anything.
Worst action sequence ever.
Ever.
Yeah, it's like a non-action, really. You know. So anyway,
We'll do something to you.
I feel like the movie probably literally had like a black screen that said, "So anyway," the next scene ensued.
6 months later.
it
Yeah.
would be apropos, right?
And she's sitting there, she's lifeless. Her lifeless corpse is sitting there while the shimmy slide comes on again. And just
And he
kidding.
starts having sex with her.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
She's like,
So
I
now
finally
we-
escaped this man.
It was the ice. Too much ice. She's frozen.
So now we cut to Cindy's funeral. Okay, and let's see. So we have Rick, Huck, Lainey, the dad, and stepmom are there.
Oh, really? I didn't even notice that. Okay.
Oh, they're in the background. They're not causing a ruckus or nothing. I was shocked. I know. I was like, really? I was like, really?
Here lies Gutter Snipe.
Gutter snipe.
Jack. So, okay. So after, so the ceremony ends. Everybody leaves except for Rick. So Rick is at the grave, and he's like, "I'll get even for you, Cindy. I promise. I'll get even."
Even.
Got a title.
Bum.
Got a title.
That's what. Can you imagine if that is like what you were saying it earlier? That's when the title like starts to kick in. All of a sudden, it's like, wow, that was the biggest prologue ever. Godfather-esque levels of movie.
There were
making.
more people at that funeral than there were at his Shimmy Slide karaoke moment as well.
That's right. That's right.
Yes. Yes, indeed.
Which makes me think it was a real funeral that they crashed.
Oh,
So now all of a sudden it cut to Rick entering Normad's compound. So of course at the beginning he's on the outside. And
Isn't there another like training montage before he storms the castle? I feel like there's a scene where he's in a room with a punching bag. I think
Yeah.
the wooden figure
Oh,
is
there is.
there.
he is.
Right.
He's bro. Yeah, he's throwing
Yeah.
punches there.
There's like a montage of him punching the punching bag, and I swear,
Yeah.
I swear, Wing's wooden friend is in the room while he's doing that. I like
Yeah.
have this
I forgot about
in my
that.
head.
So yeah, so there is another. He's like lamely punching, like just like completely lifeless. You know, like he is. And
Exactly.
Wings, Huck comes in, and he's like, "Dude, you got it." You know, he's kind of like this, and he's like, "You just need a friend." Blah blah blah. And so he brings his wooden friend into the room. He's like, "This guy's helped me out a
That's
lot."
what happens. Yeah.
And that's right. And then it just cuts to Rick going off onto Normad's compound.
Yeah, abruptly we're back. And something we actually haven't mentioned, this is another weird editing thing. The compound where Normad lives is this weird, it's this weird drive-by of what is probably a real mansion in the LA area, but there's always like a weird color treatment on it. It's very
Much like the hair.
1992 or so.
Right.
Like every time we go back, and you know what it reminds me of, like the computer games at the time that had these bizarre cutscenes, like video cutscenes, and computer games at the time. That's what it looks like every time they cut back to that compound. It's like,
Oh, when they used to have those like.
it's like you're
full
playing Myst, and it cut back to
Myst.
the mansion on the island. You see like the drive by of the Myst mansion.
Yeah. If you do that for a moment, I'll be back in about 30 seconds.
Sure.
No problem. No problem.
I hope a hand comes with a champagne glass
I
to
know.
really welcome you back.
He's
I
got to
wish
go
I had
find
the
some ice
lyrics.
cubes now.
I wish I had those lyrics. I would sing Shimmy Slide right now, but
And you know I love when you
Well,
sing, Geof. So
I tried to learn it on the guitar a few hours ago, and it is quite simple.
I mean, it's basic chords, right? There's only like 3 chords involved.
E minor. No, it's regular E, A, and D, I believe.
We have a piano, we have a guitar. Maybe we should make it a goal to like learn the song.
oh my, especially with your legacy, like leading
I
up to
know.
this, bringing
We'll
it back
learn-
to
we'll
the
learn
masses.
song,
And
we'll learn the dance. Our entire lives are going to become
that's
Shimmy
it.
Slide.
You complete that. It's like this was the moment that I realized I made it in life.
Man, you know what though? Maybe we don't want to finish that process because I feel like once you do that, there's nowhere else to go in life.
No.
You'll feel unfulfilled at that point.
the
By
bar
the time
the
you've
bar will
mastered
be
the
too
Shimmy
high.
Slide.
Unless he makes another movie out of nowhere. He's like, I'm gonna quit the law office. Whatever.
I can't wait to hear what Al brings us in terms of research on that because I don't know that much about his personal life or his like regular his day job and whatever. I'm kind of dying to know, like, what is he up to today?
Okay.
Hey, Al.
And here's what it is.
Okay. So.
All right, so we're at the compound. We're at the bad computer
And-
game from the 90s compound.
Yes, very much so. And so Rick goes and he has a I don't remember if it's a bow and arrow or a gun.
Was it crossbow?
Crossbow?
It might have been a
Yeah.
crossbow.
Very
might be
Buffy
I
of
don't remember
him.
either.
Yeah, right.
But he was definitely going for a Rambo thing, like we mentioned 2.5 hours ago at the beginning of this. He was definitely like mimicking Rambo.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So
No
there's a-
blood
middle of
instead
the
of first blood.
He's in the middle of the woods, and somehow in the dark, in the pitch black dark, he's somehow able to hit a guy on the roof from I don't know how many yards away.
It's
So
those
the guy
eyes,
on the
Jeff.
roof-
It's those eyes.
The guard on the roof.
Like
He can see everything at night.
It's like animal eyes. It's night vision.
The guy on the roof is literally standing there, like with a blank look on his face, number one. And the gun, he has it just kind of like, just like that, blank look.
Yeah.
And so he shoots him with the bow and arrow, and all we see is his body get flung off the roof.
like real fast, like he's already in motion, falling off. We don't see the arrow.
Yeah.
We see none of it.
There's the arrow, nothing. It's hilarious.
For all we
Much
know,
like Cindy's death.
Yeah. Could have been wings.
Did it
falling.
happen?
Happened, just
Yeah. Was it there? Did we really happen? Is it a hallucination?
Thank you,
Oh.
sir. Yes.
So now you know. Now you know.
Now you know. So while this is happening, at the same time, Normad is beating with a client. Okay. About drugs and stuff. So
Yeah, he's like a real if I remember correctly, he's a real stereotypical like Colombian
Drug
drug
lord,
lord kind of thing. And he's got a girl with him. And
yeah.
So wearing like a silver suit.
So
or whatever.
he dresses a lot like me, like the way I dress.
No, he was not wearing a Cuban shirt and a fedora. He was wearing a suit.
That was his business look. The suit makes it, again, as we learn, classy in this movie. Everyone's classy.
This movie specializes in
Class, if anything. That's how you describe it.
I couldn't even finish the sentence without laughing.
All right. So then Rick gets inside the house, and he shoots an arrow at another member of the Covenant. But before he does, to get his attention, he has another fantastic line. And he says, "Hey there, devil lover." And he proceeds to shoot him. Okay, now
Did you happen to watch that part with subtitles, Al? Because there is some controversy about that line. That's one of his many lines that he enunciates so poorly. And in our followers, some people raise, is he saying, "Hey there, devil lover," or is he saying, "Hey there, devil ugly"?
Devil ugly.
That's even better! You're devil ugly.
I still think it's devil lover, but it's one of those things like once somebody says that, you're like, "Oh, is it devil ugly?" I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Wow.
I don't know. I even made a cocktail to go along with this film called The Devil Lover. So when somebody said that might not be the right line, it's like shattered my world.
Oh no.
It could be also known as that. You know, some drinks have two names.
I mean, the movie's about devil worshippers at the end of the day, so it
That's
can
true.
still be called The Devil Lover.
Yeah.
Why not?
I think the devil lover makes more sense.
I kind of agree. That's why I'm leaning toward Devil Lover.
Think
But I
you're
swear,
right.
the next time you watch that scene, you won't be able to unhear it. Like you'll want to listen to that line a few times. It's
I'm gonna go watch it.
what was the Yanny and what was that controversy a couple of years ago?
Oh,
yeah.
That's right. Was it
Yanny versus what was the other
Yeah.
Yeah,
word?
Laurel.
Laurel or Yanni?
Yeah,
Yanni?
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish it was Yanni.
It's the same thing. Once you hear the other, you're like, wait, I kind of hear that too. Anyway,
You can picture the
it does-
computer saying it. Yanni. Laurel.
Laurel.
I forgot all about that.
Is it the yellow dress or the
Yellow
Blue
dress?
dress?
Is it yellow or blue
yeah.
or whatever? Yeah.
It was so
Anyway,
simple a few
what-
years ago.
Once again, I have derailed Al, but yeah.
But
So
the
getting
great,
back to the
but the
scene.
great, but the great part about this scene is when he shoots the crossbow, right, and it immediately cuts to the guy getting shot in the same exact position that John DeHart is. So it's like me doing this, boom, and then I'm a different person, and then I'm reacting to it. Like,
Yeah.
there's no, like it's like you couldn't even be across the room. Like it has to be the same shot. Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, and he's like already falling too. Like you don't. It's not like you
Yeah,
see
he-
anything hitting him. He's just already falling. He's already got it. The arrow sticking or the bolt or whatever sticking out, already falling. Like everything. Like as usual, as with everything about this film, the editing is god awful on that
It's
scene.
just
Yep.
the worst. I know. All right. All right. So then we cut to Normad with the Colombian guy, and they're going. He takes a sniff of the stuff, the whole deal. Like, and
This movie keeps on giving again. Last 15 minutes, what
Does.
don't you get in this movie?
everything.
And this Colombian, these characters, this whole thing, totally unnecessary. Totally.
Oh yeah, it's
Oh, yeah.
completely.
Yeah, why did I remember that bothering me? Why did they have to be like? Why did the cult have to also be involved in drug smuggling? Couldn't they have just been a cult? Like they were cramming too much. Like we already get that they're bad guys if you say they're a cult that does baby worshipping. Why did you need to like layer on top that they're also drug smuggling and involved with drug lords? Like
Know your lane, devil worshippers. Come on. Leave that for the rest of those people. Those drug dealers.
Baby
or
killers, I
vice,
mean,
vice
you're-
versa, the movie would have worked just as well if
Exactly.
Norman was just a corrupt cop involved with drug smuggling and not a devil worshiper. Like you could have left one of those two out and it would have worked just fine.
I mean,
And
he
what
was
they're
shooting
doing
big
is
shot at
he's
everybody.
putting a hat on top of a hat is what he's doing.
Hat on top of a hat.
Layers.
Right.
Mm.
The way to think of it, yeah, hat on top of a hat.
Yeah.
Although I'm
Alright,
glad
so-
they went with the devil
And both
worshippers.
both hats say villain in big letters. Just to make sure.
Yeah, heel and villain above the other hat. Yeah.
He needs a bigger one that says hero. The personality with that.
Very true. All right, so the Nomad gets word that someone has broken into the compound. Initially he thinks it's the client guy, the Colombian guy that he's meeting with. Thinks, what are you trying to pull?
Yep.
So he shoots the client and the lady friend that was with him. He just shoots them, boom, boom. And then we cut to Rick in the hallway of the compound, and he shoots down 5 different gunmen, including one with a machine gun. Now Rick only has just a regular, cop gun, yeah. And he's like, go on,
Yep.
go on. This dude, he's a crack shot, apparently.
And I think
And-
again we keep seeing him taking down people at the end of the same hallway, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, it's like all in the
Like
same.
everybody he takes down is at the end of that same hallway.
Yeah. And then while this is happening, Norman is just snorting some of the stuff that he just got from client. But he's
As you
snorting
do when you're being attacked. Yeah.
But he's
I mean,
snorting
that's how Bill got through the scene. You know.
Yeah. But he's doing it at the altar, at the coven's altar.
He got into Wings' stash.
Yeah.
That's why Wings is mad throughout the whole movie.
Well, speaking of wings, all of a
Okay.
sudden
All
he
right.
shows up out of freaking nowhere.
Yeah.
And then what happens? What happens to Huck? He gets shot in the leg.
Second time he's been shot.
Yeah. So it's like, dude, how many? He's freaking like 50 Cent, right? How many times he got shot? He got shot 9 times? Yeah. So, all right. So then we cut. We cut to Normad putting on his robe, his coven robe,
Yeah, not his judge's robe. Not
yeah, his
not
official.
sweaty barbershop.
Yeah.
And then Rick appears in the room
Out of nowhere. He's just he
out of
talks
nowhere.
Yeah.
Ninja.
And he says, "It's me again."
The one that
You're
got
the guy-
away, Cindy's husband.
Wait. And then he said, "You're the kind of puke that makes the world decay."
As
That is
opposed
the
to
direct
what?
quote from Rick.
The puke that doesn't.
I mean, that's insulting. If you're calling someone puke that
We would
melts
call
the
it
world
puke.
away.
Yeah.
Wait,
So,
wait, did you say what is? I thought it was makes the world decay. Was that what it
Oh,
was?
makes the world decay. Oh,
Yeah.
that's even decaying.
It is
puke.
like a little poetic. I gotta say that's an interesting line.
that's probably
Pretty deep.
I'm not gonna say it makes sense or that he delivered it well.
Yeah.
But it's
If
an
it-
interesting line.
If it's good, he probably stole it from somewhere. I bet you he read it like a graphic
Shakespeare.
novel.
It's probably in one of the Shakespeare plays somewhere.
Yeah, yeah.
One of the
He
ones we did
speaks
in
it. He
high
speaks
school.
Hamlet, so you know.
So Normad and Rick have a little bit of a fight, physical fight, and then Normad gets stabbed. Like there's I think Normad has the knife. Rick kind of grabs it, kind of shoves it into him. Like that.
Yeah, I remember it being like one of those fights. Again, it's sort of like high school drama where there's like a really awkward stage fight. Like Rick's Johnny Hart throws these awkward.
West Side Story. It's like
Oh,
the
punches,
Jetsons.
Yeah, it's like these really half-assed punches, and then it's like Bill comes up with the knife, and Johnny Hart sort of very slowly grabs and like there's this, like a slow-mo sort of like very carefully choreographed spin around and turn the knife on him kind of thing. Like it's almost like the lame self-defense videos that make it look so easy.
Oh,
You're attacked by
yeah.
somebody with a knife. It's so easy to turn it on them
But
because
didn't-
it's easy when the attacker is cooperating.
Yeah.
But didn't Normad teach the self-defense class?
He's on coke.
That's true.
Yeah.
Oh
He's not on
my
top of
god!
his game. He's not like Wings, you know. He's not. He doesn't know how to handle it.
So then, so Normad dies from the stab.
Why is every death in this movie a question of how it landed? Like, what was the death blow in every one of these characters? Get it? Everyone dies mysteriously. No definitive. Okay, he just fell down. All right.
All right. So then, after Normad dies, Rick sets the compound on fire.
Just in case.
Just in case. Now he's committing arson.
How will Lainey work next day?
And-
Like, she needs to
And
open that arcade.
There's no repercussions, no nothing. Nothing. So, okay, so then after he sets the place on fire, it cuts to, I guess, a day or two later. He's at Cindy's grave. And all of a sudden, wonderful Sister Mary Rebecca.
Oh,
shows up
the best character.
She really is. And so why is she hanging out at the gravesite? Why is she in the cemetery? I don't understand.
Yeah, is that where nuns hang out?
Yeah, like she doesn't know where to find him unless it's at the cemetery. I guess I don't know.
Oh, maybe.
She was dropping off extra Bibles at the church and the cemetery, and she's like, "It's him." Ask no questions.
She knows he's going to be in mourning for a long time because she's like, you're never going to get that again.
And by the way, she's constantly in like full nun dress, which in my experience, nuns don't walk around looking like they're
You're
the sound of
right.
music all the time.
Right.
She's dedicated.
I could see it at the hospital. That's probably her thing.
Yeah, maybe
Yeah,
at the
yeah.
hospital. You're giving last rites
yeah,
or something.
yeah, yeah.
Maybe I
But
don't know.
not at the gravesite. I don't
In the
know.
middle of a
Anyway,
cemetery.
Not out in the world, no.
Yeah.
It's probably the costume shop that he got the judge uniform, the satanic cloak, and that was the nun outfit that they had.
Probably whoever rented him all those was like, wow, this guy's about to have a weird night.
Yeah. That reminds me of a joke. A nun, a pregnant.
They were gonna say it was a duck.
I was thinking the same thing, Vanessa. She was gonna
Amanda
say.
Kruger.
His name is Kruger.
So Sister Mary Rebecca comes behind him, and she keeps nagging him for a ride to the hospital. And I mean, like this is like about a minute. She's like, "But I need a ride to the hospital."
And it actually strikes me a lot like Terminator, like just come with me if you want to live. Like there's no ifs, ands, or buts. You need to give me a ride to the hospital right now.
I'm late for my
saying it
shift.
more passionately than she was. Even it was more like, I need a ride to the hospital. You should drive me to the hospital. You should drive me to the hospital.
Please do not ask why.
I need your clothes and your motorcycle, or whatever.
But the great part is,
that habit to be flying out behind her on that motorcycle.
at first, Rick is like, "I'm trying to spend time with my wife," you know. Blah, blah, blah. She keeps nagging him until he's like, "All right, fine, I'll take it to the hospital."
Why did you even come to the cemetery if you need to be back at the hospital?
Yeah.
Right?
How did you get here?
So
Magic.
he brings her back
She
to the
flew
hospital.
on the wings of her habit.
The flying nun, exactly.
There you go. And all of a sudden, she brings Rick to a special room where he walks in, and Cindy is still magically alive.
It was
So-
me, Austin. It was me all along.
It was.
Fine. She's fine except for a big bandage around her head.
Big
Yep.
bandage around her head. And
Was
she's like,
this?
They couldn't tell you I was still alive. Blah blah blah. Because of all the stuff going on.
For reasons.
So it was a witness protection program, or it was his motivation to get rid of the villain?
Sister Mary decided you needed to go destroy Normad, so we all hatched this plan with Sister Mary as the ringleader.
Yeah.
You know, I have this room at the hospital that I use to store my Bibles and my my other items. Why don't we put you in there?
What are the other items?
Yeah, you know what? After I said it, I was like, holy water, holy water.
Oh, she is a fun nun.
That's why she needed the full habit.
Yeah.
There's a lot to cover.
Lots to cover underneath. Who knows?
So
Hopefully it's
apparently,
If she's a real nun, even.
apparently Cindy came to while in the ambulance when they picked her up from the motorcycle accident. So they embrace and credits.
That's it. That's that.
That
She
is
had a bullet hole in her head after the bicycle thing, but she's fine and
okay. No
And
problem.
credits.
You know.
So is Normad alive?
Normad.
Is he alive? Because we didn't see him die either, really.
I
Well,
mean, maybe Johnny Hart was thinking sequel.
Oh no.
There's an end credit
So,
sequence, right? No, I'm just kidding.
So okay, I'll watch.
Like Skeletor in the He-Man movie. I'll be back.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've watched an extended interview and the commentary on Campaign Book. So apparently, John DeHart has a sequel ready.
I was joking.
No,
Like-
he does.
This
Like
is all
Lightning
your fault,
strikes
Dr. Vane.
No, much like we learned from Samurai Cop, lightning doesn't strike twice, going forward.
Yeah.
Very true.
Let him try, though, at least. See what he came up with.
But he has stated that Wing Hauser is on board if they do a sequel.
I'm in. I didn't know that at first. I'm in.
I was like, holy shit,
This
Yeah.
changes everything.
this needs to happen.
He's
And
gonna get like
and I'm
another
hoping-
24-year-old girl to play his girlfriend, right?
Cindy
And I'm hoping-
recast. Oh, you look so much younger.
They can make another one. I'm hoping. I'm hoping. So in the interview, he calls this movie the biggest little movie ever made. Now the reason he calls it this is because of all the hats that he wore during the making of this movie.
Well, Joe already said he was wearing hat upon hat.
He was.
In many ways.
Joe was ahead of all of them. So I'm going to list the 8 positions that he claims he did in this movie. He is an octuple threat. He's not a triple threat. He's an octuple threat.
Ooh.
He's the. Uh-oh. Ryan got disconnected.
Oh, you scared Ryan away. He didn't want to hear it. He
You
said,
blew
"Oh my
him away
God,
with that.
octuple threat." I don't
Yeah,
know.
Apple, I can't handle
He
it.
can't do it. So director,
Yep.
writer, producer, star, head musician, vocalist,
Oh no.
chief bottle washer, and the cook.
The
He
cook?
never explains. He never ever explains. He never explains.
Sorry.
Ryan, this man said he has 8 jobs and half of them are made the hell up.
Yeah.
Oh.
What's the difference between head musician and vocalist? I don't think he gets to double dip on that
There's
one.
No.
But
Like
that
you-
is the 8 positions.
You compose the score or the soundtrack if you want to be like all fancy.
He
that's
didn't
what-
write it though. He bought the song.
Oh, I was gonna say, did he write that? Then you could say something
wait.
at least,
Didn't he,
songwriter.
like collaborate on the writing? Like, I don't think he wrote them. I mean, maybe he co-wrote.
Okay, so
They weren't that deep, so.
Maybe it is all him.
he did not write the Shimmy slide, but he did
Oh.
write the other 2 songs.
Okay.
Oh.
So-
The Celtic
so
little
he- So
Gaelic.
He bought the rights.
Available soon.
Excuse me. He bought the rights to the Shimmy slide. So he owns the Shimmy slide. He didn't write it.
That's money well spent, I guess.
He's planning something for sure then. The album, the sequel,
I'm hoping.
the TV
So-
series.
Not only does he call it the biggest little movie ever made, he also calls it, and I quote, a gritty, wonderful adventure.
Gritty.
Gritty, wonderful adventure.
Great.
And then he goes on to say that the movie covers all kind of subjects, like
Well, that's
religion,
true.
Yeah, I agree there.
domestic violence before OJ. That's his words, not mine.
Oh,
Drug abuse,
I thought
violence.
this movie with the woman exposing her breasts was representative of the issues around domestic violence.
strippers' rights, right? Because of
Yeah.
the girl on the stage. Is
Oh,
that before that film?
man.
Is that a big topic?
underage dating.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh my God.
So he's talking
So
like, yeah,
yes, he is. He is the top. I don't know, but I feel like he's above Tommy. Like with this movie,
Tommy won't say how old he is either.
he is immortal.
Oh.
right. They're both immortal. So, okay, so the other things I learned was, the other thing he said about the movie is that it's nitty gritty, rough and tumble, and sexual.
Sexual? Was that the last word? Did I hear that correctly?
Yeah, those are the adjectives that he used to describe.
Sexual to who?
Yeah, you know the
Cindy,
like,
poor
Princess
Cindy.
Bride quote. I don't think that word means what you think it means.
Right. So it was a 30-day shoot altogether. 23 days principal
30
photography.
days.
30.
I'm
23
actually
days
surprised.
of principal photography, 7 days of BU. The editing took 6 to 8 months. Really? The editing of this movie took 6 to 8 months?
Is that all 3 versions?
No, that's just champagne and bullets.
Oh, jeez. Oh, God.
How could you rush this masterpiece?
I feel like the editor was desperately trying to make sense of everything.
So apparently the editor was living with him while editing.
Of course he was.
So what? Why did it take so long to edit this movie? I don't understand.
I would have edited 24/7 just to get out of that house sooner, probably.
Right?
Oh
Yeah,
my
oh my
god. The
I
editor
don't
was
get it.
living with him. That was the best fact of the night, I think.
So they,
That way
they
you can
shot
stay
the
on top
movie.
of him.
Well, they shot the movie with one camera. So just one camera.
Not
Um,
shocking, not at all.
So
How many takes must they have done then if they only
so
have
they
one
said
angle?
they did a ton of takes on like every scene because they only had the one, they only rented the one camera.
That explains all those long like things with Will Smith, all those long monologues where it's just that one shot and he goes on forever and ever because they
Yeah.
have no cut, they have no.
Or even like the scene at the restaurant when you just see the back of the maitre d' or whatever he is, the owner, whoever he is. Like,
Right.
yeah.
You're so funny.
No, I'm not gonna toast. You go ahead.
Yeah, please no, please no.
So the budget ended up being $300,000 altogether with
That's way cheaper than I would have expected.
Been
Even despite all the cheap scenery and costumes, I still would have expected him to have blown more money on it.
Yeah,
I know,
that's.
right?
I bet you that scene where like Cindy starts going off and stuff, and she's like really into like grinding on him. She must have cashed her check. I bet you that's where that money went.
She
That was
deserves it.
75K
She
right
deserves
there.
it.
That one
Yeah.
scene with $75K to Cindy.
Yeah.
She deserves every minute of it because she sold it with his dead look.
Aspiring personality.
What if they put the two of them together in a movie? Wouldn't that be amazing?
Oh,
That would be.
From Louisiana? Yeah, that's always my
Clearly a
favorite.
Louisiana accent he's got there.
Yep.
it might be like the two negatives.
You
of
must
one
be
and that.
joking, right?
It might not work.
So the other facts that I got were, so this movie came out in 1993. John D. Hart passed the bar in 1995. So he wasn't a lawyer yet. When he made
Oh,
Oh, wow.
I hope you're gonna get there. How did he get the money for this then?
I don't know. I don't know.
He opened up a zoo with lions and tigers for a little while, right between the 2 years in between the movie and taking the bar. And
And
the rest was history.
Album.
He's gotta have family money or something. If
That's what I assumed. Family money, or trust fund money, something. It's gotta be.
because I assumed, I was like, oh, he was like a successful LA lawyer. That's where he had all the money to do this movie. Because like $300K is nothing to somebody like that.
You're doing
Like,
me.
you were to line him with like Robert Kardashian or whatever, like that's dropping the budget for somebody like that.
Right.
But he wasn't even a lawyer yet. How the hell was this happening? Oh my god.
He's the
Speaking of
luckiest
lawyers.
man in the world.
Speaking of him being a lawyer, this is his dad. Yes,
He looks like he hasn't aged.
he's a civil lawyer, and he does all types of cases.
Wrongful death!
He still has that look. So
Breach of contract! Did he have to do this during the movie? You pulled a breach of contract.
So yeah, he's now a semi-retired.
That looks like he took that picture though, Al. That looks like from like the same time that
1,000%.
the same time as this movie.
Sure.
I mean, this
Yeah.
can't be recent.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Let's
no.
call him. Let's
He's
call
still-
that number.
He's got more hair than I do.
So speaking of, there was someone that called that number. Now I don't know if that number is still active. I have no idea. I have never called it. I'm not going to call it. But Katie, do you want to tell the story?
I don't remember the whole story. Honestly, last time we spoke about this, Al, we were having trouble remembering who exactly it was, but it was somebody in our audience who had said,
Yeah.
I called that number because I wanted a copy of this movie. And apparently they got some sort of voicemail or something, left a message saying, I'm interested in a copy of your film.
Yeah.
Please call me back. And got a call back, supposedly got a call back from John D. Hart himself.
Yeah.
Wow.
And he sent this person a DVD. He said, yeah, they're for sale for, $17 or whatever.
Oh,
Here's-
bargain.
Here's how to submit payment. Like, this is all hearsay about what this person later related, but he did seem to get a hold of a DVD at the time, but this was prior to the Blu-ray coming out.
Yes, that's exactly what happened, Vanessa.
So this DVD was available. I mean, I guess '93 was VHS.
Okay.
This was in video stores, or was this like straight to like Cinemax? Or
I don't think it got
I don't
picked
know.
up by anybody.
No, I don't think anybody picked it up until Vinegar came out.
Well, obviously somebody at some point made a digital copy because the GetEven version was on YouTube for quite a while. Like when you and I picked it up in that packet that
It was already on
that
there
your
for
boss
5 or
downloaded
6 years.
from wherever. Like, because our rule of thumb with our Roku stuff is we look for things that are lost cinema, nobody cares about copyright, and the way we checked was we saw that this thing had been on YouTube for a few years, and we're like, okay, clearly nobody cares about this film.
And-
This is fair game.
And also, mind you, there was no DVD of it.
Yeah, there's no.
So there's
there was
no DVD and there's no Blu-ray or anything else. And it's been up on YouTube for 5 years. You can sort of kind of figure out in your mind whether anyone's really going to start really digging into this.
So that's
That
part of our
makes sense.
that's part of our criteria for staying away from the danger zone. But that does
Smart.
that. I mean, obviously somebody somewhere cared enough to make a digital copy of it and put it up on YouTube in around
But
2015 or so.
my theory on that is it was John D. Hart who put up the digital copy. Because you see, now he thought with this brand new genre of YouTube, people like us would look at it and then would revere it for it being as good as he believed that it is.
Maybe he thought it would get
Now-
word of mouth. He'd get discovered
Yes.
if he put it up on YouTube or had one of his. So had somebody do it, like ask somebody to do
what
it.
he did not gamble on was that people like us were going to look at it and not revere it for as great as he thinks it is, but make fun of it and mock it for just how awful it is.
Are you
And what
saying?
he did.
Are you saying it's not a magnificent piece of film?
Well, yeah.
do you think this was all like a big old scheme out of him? Like, he's probably at home like, everybody's playing checkers. I'm playing.
Because
Right.
where would it come
And
from?
then one day came around where maybe we might have shown up.
It might stand to reason if he was aware of it sitting on YouTube, he may have suddenly noticed an uptick in people checking it out, and then he was advised like you could put this on disc and actually make more money than people just streaming it for free or whatever. Because I don't think it even like had ads on it or anything. It definitely wasn't monetized.
No,
I mean,
not at all.
this was years ago before like a lot of videos were even monetized though. So I don't know. It does beg a lot of questions about who the heck archived this.
Yeah.
I mean, whoever it was a genius. Don't get me wrong. We are all better for having experienced this.
Oh yeah, it changed my life for the better.
I'll never be the same.
It's true. It's true. I want to see it again for the first time. Like that is such an experience seeing this film for the first time.
I know I'm jealous of Ryan because
I know.
for him to watch. I mean, just like I said, I haven't seen it that long ago, but just watching it that first time, not knowing what to expect. That was,
I think
Yeah.
it was the
That's
cold
the best way
scene
to
when
do
she
it,
said
not
that. That's when I
knowing.
knew I was in.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And we walked in totally cold. Like I said, it was just in a batch of files we got. We walked in totally cold, had no idea what it was,
yeah.
and it was amazing. It was like it was the best thing I've experienced in the past 10 years of my life, and I'm including our wedding.
Did you guys wear tracksuits at your wedding too?
We should renew our vows and
my God,
and-
yes.
And you got to pick a best man who wears an orange
That's right.
orange suit.
And
The
moves
orange
back and
velvet
forth the
print.
whole time.
Yeah, and like dances around like he's got a tinkle.
Oh, and I have a weird fun fact for everyone. This does not involve the movie.
The others
What?
weren't weird.
No, not at all. But Katie and Joey got married on the same day that me and Vanessa got married.
How cool! Same year too.
Like,
Look at.
I
we're
believe
both-
same year too.
Yeah.
Whoa! Wow.
wow, uncanny.
And this was even
But,
before GetEven entered our lives.
Yeah. It was.
Because then it would have been a whole double wedding with the outfits you were just mentioning.
Oh my god! I probably would have like insisted that we all gather for a joint wedding and like pay Wings Hauser to show up.
Oh.
The whole cast.
Do you know there was a rumor that went around during the pandemic that he died, and I was like so
Yes.
upset that then it was like a hoax, and I was like, oh,
Yeah.
I was
A
upset.
slow night for people.
Actually,
And I was like,
is
why-
everybody from that cast still around? I feel like the female lead might have passed
No,
away.
she died.
Yeah.
She died, and so did William Smith.
Will
Oh,
Smith
really?
just died not
He
too
passed
long ago.
pretty
Yeah,
he
recently,
just-
right?
yeah.
Like a couple of years ago. Yeah.
Well, he was 100 also.
Yeah,
I believe. Or he was 99.
He was up there.
he
Yeah.
was.
He was close to
Yeah.
being that, you know.
Yeah.
Al
she-
and I did a watch along. Not too like I was on his on here on the and we looked his whatever movie he picked. He was the star, and he was actually a good guy. And because I'm used to him being a bad guy
Yeah.
on the 80s TV shows, and I think he's phenomenal. And we looked it up, and I'm like, oh my god, yeah, he just died. Not pretty recent. But
It was pretty recently. Yeah.
you're saying the girl that played Cindy's dead?
Yes.
I believe she passed away fairly
Yeah, she
young
did.
of cancer or something.
Yeah.
It was something
Yeah,
terrible.
she was in her
Yeah.
50s, early
Oh
50s.
no!
Yeah.
Oh, the sobering side of champagne and bullets right now.
But maybe she's not really dead.
Oh, well, what have we learned
Still
from
waiting
this?
for the twist.
Maybe so.
Where's the nun?
Okay,
Where is Sister Mary?
She's
Yeah.
dead.
Yeah.
We need the nun to
Clarence.
show up and rectify the situation for us.
Sister Mary
Oh
Rebecca.
yeah.
Little Sister Mary Rebecca.
Yeah.
But okay,
Yeah.
there's one other quote that I wanted to make sure all of y'all were here for. John DeHart, in the audio interview that I listened to, he said he thinks that he himself, and I quote, is one of the top 10 living actors.
Get the fuck out of here.
No joke.
I told you that
No.
this guy really lives in his own world.
He thinks he is the shiznizzle of everything. He
Yeah.
thinks he's the greatest. And this is the
This
greatest.
is why I never wanted to really like play ball with this guy. Like
Yeah.
I've been on different podcasts with other people that have like tried to like talk me into like maybe like doing one of their shows where we got John DeHart on for me to maybe have a conversation with him.
Yeah, because every once in a while somebody is like, have you ever tried to get an interview with him or something?
And I don't know if I want to like test those
I
waters.
don't know if we want to really
Because
attract
I
his
don't
attention.
know, like with his attitude, I don't know if he's going to understand. Like,
Well, to some extent, understand how much we love this film. Like, as much as we
we're
Yeah.
make fun of it, it has added value to our lives in a measurable value in a weird
Yeah.
way. Because it is
Well, I'm
so,
sure he would appreciate that, right?
the way he's so like earnest about it,
Yeah.
like is kind of endearing. Like he
Yeah.
really put everything into this.
yeah,
He this was his magnum opus. He was so into this film, and it's admirable in that sense. Like he thought he was making magnificent art, and he
Yeah.
did, but maybe in a way he didn't intend. It's a little bit. It's more on that so bad it's good
Yeah.
kind of side of thing.
Definitely.
Which I think a lot of us appreciate sometimes even more. Like when you're trying so hard and it goes off kilter. That is sometimes so much better and so much more enjoyable.
you know, when
Like I would rather make a so bad it's good film than just a mediocre something that everybody forgets in a year.
Right.
So really, he
Exactly.
made his mark. He did an amazing job if you think of it that way.
I give him credit too for sticking to his. I mean, I'll give him credit for this. At least he said, "Hey, I made an awesome movie. I still think it's an awesome movie. Whatever. People are laughing. Whatever." Where like Tommy Wiseau is like, "Oh yeah, I meant it to be funny," and I'm like, "No."
Yeah, yeah.
No, you didn't.
And now buy some underwear with my name on it and a picture of myself.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you. John DeHart's sticking to his guns on it.
Yeah, he would never go the Tommy Wiseau route. Tommy has embraced the goofiness.
Yes.
John,
I mean, I
do
went
not-
and I paid 3 times market value on this movie, so I mean, it does have its charm, right? I mean,
Yeah,
and it was that penny too, wasn't it?
oh yeah, I would do it again. Would buy it again.
And the
Joe alluded to
soundtrack.
the fact that he's done other podcasts. There was one other podcast that Joe joined to talk about this film, and what was really hilarious is that the two hosts said, "Hey, we're gonna do like a buddy cop themed show. Here's the movie we picked out. Why don't you suggest one?" And Joe said, "Cop themed. We're doing Road to Revenge."
Right.
And a couple days before they were going to get together and film this podcast, they all got together for it. His friend Andre reached out and said, "So we just screened Road to Revenge. Forget the other movie. We're going to spend the whole time talking about Road to Revenge. Just forget about the other one. You don't need to watch it."
Nice.
They had that same first time viewing it reaction of, "Oh my God, I could spend 3 hours talking about this film."
Which we just did.
I was gonna say, did we? We did, or literally? That's so funny.
Pretty much.
Wow. Well, guys, this was great. Does anyone have any last wonderful words for this wonderful movie? For this gritty, wonderful movie.
Sexy movie too.
Sexy.
Right.
Wingshauser for
Everyone
life.
had a lost word.
Wingshauser for life. That's a good sentiment.
For sure.
I'm glad Ryan got to watch it finally.
Yeah.
You know, I'm always talking about it. Now he's seen it. So.
That and then having this conversation almost directly afterwards is a very surreal moment. So thank you all as well for this and this discussion.
Well, thank you for being that fresh perspective. Somebody who just experienced it. It's
I'm very glad to.
Okay, so Vanessa did remind me about how he got the cult stuff into the movie.
Oh.
Apparently, John D. Hart met this girl, and she told him basically what happened in the movie. That she had joined this cult, and they were
She just sort of fell into it.
Yeah,
During a picnic.
But and then I believe, if I remember, correct me if I'm wrong, Vanessa, but I believe she ended up dead a couple days later after he talked with her. Like he saw a picture of the paper or something, and so he was like, well, "That was really weird," and so I'm going to put this in the movie. Yeah, that's apparently what happened.
By the way,
And then Cindy died.
One other weird memory that just popped into my head about that scene where she's on the bench saying she just fell into devil worshipping. She's wearing this like sundress, and you can see she's incredibly sunburned. It looks like they did 100 takes of that scene, like you're saying earlier. Like they must have done 100 takes because she's so sunburned. It's uncomfortable to see what she looks like.
She got cooked.
Yeah, she got cooked while they sat there doing that dumb picnic scene.
So he could just do that same soliloquy.
She
Over.
she was
Over and
sitting
over
there
And over
she was sitting there
again.
roasting and blistering while he did the Hamlet scene.
Roasting and blistering. The torture of this movie, the real
Yeah.
torture. Working with him during these scenes and getting burnt while doing so.
Yeah.
Yep.
Thank you,
Sure.
Al.
Yeah. So now we've all experienced it together. The burn of the movie.
Great round table discussion on such a high art.
I mean, I am jazzed. I would like to regather with all of you all when the sequel comes out.
Oh my God!
Maybe right after this, he's gonna call Al and say, "You know what? I am a lawyer. Now fund my sequel."
If he does like a GoFundMe and there's like, for $100 you get to be an extra in this scene, I am the first one to sign up.
Yes.
I will show up in whatever basement bar you want me to and do the shimmy slide.
Oh,
That or another cult. You might be able to do a whole cult
I will throw on
scene.
a cheap robe and be in your cult. I'm there for that GoFundMe.
I'll give him 200 and say, make sure to release a soundtrack this time, dude.
He'll burn you a copy, maybe.
He might.
Call him.
$17.
Give him a call.
Yeah, Jeff, call him tomorrow.
Like, you need legal advice? Like, well, I might. Depends on the.
After this video that we did last night.
Depends whether you're coming after us.
Yeah. If I watch right now, you son of a bitches. I'll get you all.
Maybe that's why he's a great lawyer. He stares down the person on the stand.
Yeah.
You did this, didn't you?
I mean, Al,
All right,
before we
well-
log off here, are you going to hit the tagline of the Shimmy slide? The sign
Might.
off from the Shimmy slide?
I might. Let's
Okay.
let's go counterclockwise first. Anything coming up? Ryan, we'll start with you.
Oh my god. I'm going through my 5 pages of notes and going, it still wasn't enough. I could have had 20, and there still wouldn't have covered everything that's in this movie, but, what can I say? I'm so glad I've experienced it finally. So thank you again. Thank you again, Al, for sending me the copy of the movie, the particular version. And oh my god, I enjoyed it for whatever it is.
Awesome. Yeah, you have any videos coming out soon?
A new podcast episode new every Friday, and then I'll have a new It Came From the Basement, where I pull out some random collectibles from my parents' basement from when I was a kid and share them off. So there should be a new one soon.
Jeffrey?
Yeah, my channel on YouTube, GCap Recap. I put up a video once a week, and I'm sure I'll be doing live stream another Cappy Hour soon with with Ryan and David, and getting the gang together and doing something cool. So that'll be coming up. Also Instagram, and I just joined TikTok for some reason.
Ooh, yes.
It's Ryan's fault I joined. So
We're trying to, I wanted someone to tag along with me with this journey of I don't know what the hell I'm doing.
So that's it. Thanks for having me on for this, Al.
Star-Lord, the next one, you can come up with us. And
Oh, how cool would that be?
Yeah,
Yes.
Star-Lord.
yes, indeed. All right, Joey and Katie, y'all got anything coming up?
We're currently giving content to B-Zone on Roku. It's a free channel. Follow their Facebook page for the schedule to see when we're on. We're not creating content at a very regular clip right now, but here and there we do some batches. We do a lot of movie hosting. I do like a cooking show where it's weird food that goes along with the movie and that kind of thing. We also do some reaction. It's not live because it's a streaming channel, but we film it as though it's live, and so we have a variety of things that we contribute to that channel right now. So yeah, if you follow their Facebook page, you'll see when it's airing. Thursday night is commonly when Action Smack specifically airs on that channel. So that's where you can find the good B action films hosted by Joe.
And I love that it's on Roku. That's so good.
Yeah.
It's
TV.
Just writing it down.
The owner of the channel runs a lot of really cool stuff. It's like B movies. It's like old concerts too.
Wow.
Old sports. Like there's bizarre like Battle of the Network Stars is on Sundays sometimes.
Oh, that's amazing.
It really is a variety. It's sort of like it's kind of like a lost media channel. Like he basically finds things that that nobody wants to claim anymore and airs it. It could be like failed pilots, all kinds of stuff. So he really puts an interesting program on. So yeah, check out the B-Zone Facebook page. That's where all the information is for that channel.
That's really
B-Zone,
cool.
Okay. B-Zone, and you said the Roku channel is
Action
B-Zone.
Smart?
So Action Smacked is the show that Joe hosts.
Okay.
That's
channel. The channel is called B-Zone. So if you just go into your Roku and search B-Zone, it should pop up. It's free.
All right. I will.
And
check that out.
I love that.
If you do have a Roku, I highly suggest downloading the B-Zone channel. It is awesome.
Yeah, and there's
I
live
watch it all the time.
there's live chats on the Facebook page a lot of times as well. Like while the hosted shows are airing, especially. So yeah, and there's other hosts. It's not just us too. Let me be clear. There's lots of cool stuff going on that channel. So.
All right, cool.
So yeah, thank you so much for having us here. It was really nice meeting you guys.
Yeah.
So nice to meet you.
So nice to meet you guys. This was a lot of fun. You guys
My
were-
mouth is hurting from laughing just from
I
these
feel
scenes.
I feel the same way, and I cannot believe we just talked for 3 hours plus about a movie that was like what, an hour and 40 minutes.
Yeah. And we met like 5 minutes before that on here, so that's good. I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the power.
Love it.
The power of Jonathan Hart.
Bringing us all together.
Love it.
Yeah. All right. So I have 2 things coming up on Sunday. I have a watch party on the Video Tasties channel. We're at 3 p.m. Central Time, 4 p.m. Eastern. We're going to be watching the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movie, the first one. That should be a whole lot of fun. And then, of course, Sunday night, the Midnight Society, and it will be on my channel. And we're going to be talking about Friday the 13th, the final chapter.
Oh, such a good
That
one.
should be pretty cool because that's my favorite one.
He's killing me.
Oh, no.
So yeah, everybody's links is in the description. So go check out everybody. Go download B Zone. Check out GCap. Check out Radical Ryan. And yeah, other than
Thank
that,
you.
guys, we will see all you guys later. And
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
See you later.
Hey, Rick, come on up and sing.
Good idea. Good thinking. Come on, go up to the sing.
Yeah, come on, Rick. Come on, Rick, sing us a song.
Please,
Rick, come on, Rick.
Twist my arm. Okay, you twist my arm. I'll do it.
All right.
Good thinking.
Well, it's leaking, it's sliding all across the floor. Grooving 2 by 2, stomping for some more. That's when my eyes catch you and my heart begins to sing. Oh, pretty baby, man, can you swing? My feet start to moving as they push me from my chair. My fingers start to snap and wanna run through your hair. I got to get to you, but I get pushed aside, 'cause everybody's doing the shimmy and the slide. Oh, you're on fire when I grab you by the hand. Your waist still moving with the rhythm of the band. My eyes swell up as you take me for a ride. Come on, pretty baby, let's do the shimmy slide.